Y'all remember a few weeks ago, we had a guest on named Gary that had some type of Bigfoot activity out at Mystic Springs. Well, tonight's guest went and followed up on that. He rode out there. He met Gary. He stayed the night. And what he caught is going to blow your mind. Let's get into it.
Something big is spooking residents. Multiple people have claimed to see a large furry animal trudging through the woods.
I literally could see him from all the way over here. I started hearing it. It was very large, and it was running so fast.
City of sorts for campers in Taos County. The Sheriff's Office is sharing safety tips on social media to protect yourself from
Bigfoot.
I saw something out of the corner of my eye off the side of the road in a culvert.
It's not like a bear, and it wasn't like a coyote. I've never seen anything like that.
No details, big, like 10-foot foam, big thing. It freaked out, hand in the leg.
I don't think it registered what it was.
What's the likelihood that there are big animals that have gone undetected by scientists and by trained observers?
What is up, everybody? Thank you so much for tuning in to this Wednesday evening transmission of the Bigfoot Underground. I am your host, Stacy Brown Jr., aka Bigfoot Stacy. If you're new to the show, this is where we do an interview live, and then if time permits, we'll open the phone lines up and we'll take random calls from random people. And I'm telling you, some of the conversations we've had that way have been absolutely amazing. Okay, so want to get into a couple of things before we bring our guest on. August 22nd, okay? Bigfoot and Brews is going down in Chipley, Florida at the Winery 1901 on Main. I will be speaking along with Jason Monk, tonight's guest, and Dustin Tudup, who was a guest on the show a while back. But we're going to be doing a Bigfoot event from like 12 to 4. You'll come out, share your stories, meet us. It's going to be a good time with everybody there. So tickets are already available. If you'll go on Facebook and look up 1901 on Main, you can get the tickets there. Otherwise, you can buy them day of. So if you're in the North Florida area and you want a nice, personable, because I think there's only 100 tickets for this thing. I think we're doing it upstairs, only 100 tickets. So it's a more intimate show. You get to meet people as opposed to like the Florida Bigfoot conference we went to a few weeks ago where there were thousands of people there. You know, you really can't get to kind of spend the time and ask the questions that you want. So if you're in the area, North Florida, South Georgia, Alabama, swing on by. I promise you won't be disappointed. Also, October 1st through 4th, the members only expedition. We're going to be in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky. Now, this is free for members. So if you are a cave dweller, you can come along, meet other cave dwellers. We're going to have live entertainment, live podcasts. We're actually going to go out and look for the creature himself. The only cost to you is your camping, which is $30 a night per person. So we've secured this 300-acre private area right in the middle of the Red River Gorge. It's absolutely beautiful place. There are things in this plot of land that are nowhere else in the Red River Gorge. You're going to see some Native American overhangs and stuff like that. It's super cool. There's been Bigfoot activity there and the surrounding areas. So we got something for everybody on that one. If you can't walk that good, you can still come and sit by the fire. And then when we all get to going out, we're going to slap a dash cam and a thermal in your hand. And we're going to send you on a predetermined route to ride through the area in there while we look for Bigfoot. I'm hoping to have 100 people at this event. If we can get that, we will set the world record for the largest Sasquatch expedition ever. And you may say, why would you want to take 100 people out into the woods? I don't want to take 100 people out at once. I want to split 100 people up in a large area because one of those teams will have activity that night. And then we can base night two's operations, day two's or day three investigations during the daytime off of that activity that was, from the night before. Looking forward to it and hope y'all get out there to it. Got some special guests we'll be announcing soon. You're not going to want to miss that one. Also, last but not least, this Friday, 4 teams, 4 locations, 1 night. You got that right here on the Underground Live. After the video that airs Friday night at 8, we will be going live right here on the channel. Got 4 teams out in different areas. Going to have Jason, who's the guest tonight. He's going to be at Mystic Springs. We're going to show you why he's going to be at Mystic Springs tonight. Then we're also going to have Jared from the Lowdown Podcast. He's going to be out in the Green Swamp. Mike Aguilar and Christina are going to be out in the Withlacoochee State Forest. And then last but not least, Richie B from Bannerwood. Richie B will be live from the Bridgewater Triangle in Massachusetts. So if y'all didn't tune into the last one, how it works is I'm going to host it. I'm going to talk. I'm going to switch in between teams throughout the night from like 9 to midnight. And they're going to be out there and hopefully, we will have something go down. We're going to try our best. Jackie DP, she wants to know, will there be a team for old ladies? Abso-effing-lutely, Jackie. There's something for everybody. There's trails that go through this property that they call the kid trails, and then there are trails through this property where you can fall off into the gorge itself. Like, it's all skill levels on that. We're going to have something for everybody. Nobody is going to be left out on this. So, and tonight's guest will be a man that's running a team while we're there. So he'll be leading a group on a Bigfoot expedition. So let's get into it. Let's go ahead and bring him on. I don't know why I keep him waiting. Y'all know him in the chat as Papa Squatch. Mr. Jason Monk, how are you doing, buddy?
What's up, brother? I'm good. What's up, everybody? Hey, I just want to say, Miss Jackie, I'll be on the old woman team. I'll be on that team leading it, and we'll be riding the roads.
Well, hey, I'm serious. Riding the roads is the best. Like, I know getting out there and hoofing it is fun and all that, but riding in the car, you got some REO Speedwagon on or something, and you're sitting there riding the roads, and you got the thermal hooked up, you got the dash cam. 94% of all sightings are road crossings. It's always our best effort. Yep. We always put somebody out to doing that. But so I want to thank you because a few weeks ago I had a guy on named Gary.
Yes.
Who was he had an encounter out at Mystic Springs. Okay. And then I can't remember if you contacted me or if I contacted you. One of the two happened.
I think at the time you were telling him you had a guy that lived close by. At the same time, I was texting you and said, absolutely, I'll go.
Yeah, and it was really cool to follow up. I don't remember how long it was before you went that he had his encounter, but the dude stated that every time he was there at Site 7, something was happening. Yeah. And you went out there. So did you stay out there the day you met him, or was it a day when you came back?
No, I met him out there, and the day I met him, he had gotten to Site 8, which was back more toward the main road, and I got 7, which is right there where he had his experience. And we did a little live, and he told us his story, and he showed me where he saw everything. And then, hey, I threw the air mattress in the back of the truck and put my little cover up and crawled up there and waited.
In the back of his truck? You slept in his truck with him?
No, sir. He was in his van.
Oh, gotcha.
When listen, Gary was a good dude, but Gary was shaken up by those lights, and
really,
and he was not gonna. Yeah, he didn't know what they were. He wasn't gonna play with them, and that big stomping around that he heard, I can verify. He heard what he heard. He saw what he saw.
Right. So what happened? Kind of walk me through that night. We'll get into the pictures here when you get to that moment, but walk me through what happens this evening that you went out there to meet Gary.
After we went out, I did my opening ceremony. I left my gifts. I just sweet corn, coffee beans, and apple, tobacco, and went back to the campsite. I got my campsite ready. He went back to his van on the other campsite, and basically it just took off from there. And while we were talking, even before the sun went down, there were tree knocks and stuff on the other side of the water.
Okay.
And it just kept escalating all night long. It escalated. It come up. The first thing that happened was the light that popped up in the middle of the woods. Which I think Gary caught on his trail cam. I believe that's what he caught on his trail cam, because it was aimed back toward the direction, kind of to my southeast. So whenever I saw the light off to my left in the woods, that's the direction his camera was aimed from the other side. And it popped up. It was about softball size, white light, but it wasn't casting light, like the tree limbs and stuff, the leaves, nothing around it was illuminated. There was just a light there, a light source. And then whenever it dissipated, it started from the inside out.
So you've seen this with your own eyes?
Yes. And it was too quick for me to get a camera up. And I had just got the fire started, and I was just getting everything ready. And I saw the light, and it, you turn a flashlight off or headlights go off, it looks like they close. It looks like they go off. Yeah. But this it started in the middle and just went away. It was gone.
Now, was there any sound with that, or was it quiet? Was it absent of sound?
No, the frogs are still going crazy. Gary said he heard noise, because he texted me after that. He's like, "What was that? Did you hear that? There was a weird noise." I couldn't hear the noise, but I saw the light. And from there, as I started my camera up, I started recording what I could. And I recorded 1 minute and 30 seconds, and the battery went dead. And I took it out. I switched batteries real quick. I tried to record again, and this battery got about 30 seconds, and it went dead.
Now, I take it that you charged those before you went out there.
4 fully charged batteries I took in the woods with me, or took to the campsite with me.
Okay.
The third, I put the battery in. Before I turned it on, before I could open it up, and it said hello. It said goodbye and shut off. Battery was gone.
Wow. Okay.
And the fourth battery I put in, I was able to record. I got maybe an hour's worth of footage that cut down to a 40-minute show. Yeah.
Now, what was dying? What device was it that was dying?
It was my IR camera.
Oh, okay.
And, it was an infrared camera, regular camcorder. I had an external IR light, so I wasn't using the IR light on the camera itself.
Right.
So it had its own battery source, so there's no reason the camera should have drained that I could find.
Right. It's weird. I know when we were out in Torreya last time, same thing happened. So It's just
Yes,
a thing about it. So, okay, you see this light flash, and you think Gary got a photo of it.
I do. I believe his trail cam caught a photo of it.
Have you talked to him?
I talked to him right after he sent me the one photo that his trail cam took before those batteries went dead too. And then I was explaining on our show how there's a couple of noises that could have been debunked, and I think he took offense to that.
Yeah.
But it's just part of it. I mean, if you get offended because somebody debunks something you see or hear, then you just don't need to be doing this kind of stuff because it's going to happen all the time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And the only thing, it was just the metal clanking sound. And we've heard metal clanking sound in the woods before. It just so happened that probably half a mile away on the other side of the water, there's a street with a line of houses on it.
Gotcha.
And a couple of those houses have kids. So that could have been some of the metal clanking sound. That's all I could have debunked.
Right. Dude, I will tell you, it is the weirdest thing to be in the middle of nowhere and you hear what sounds like one of them old car doors shut.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
Like, I don't know what that is. It is a thing that happens. I've heard it probably 3 or 4 times through my years. Once was in the mountains. I checked when we were in the mountains. I got back on the road and rode around and was looking for cars, and there wasn't nobody. Once was in Osceola. Then me and my buddy were in the center of the Torreya Challenge, and it happened. And I have no explanation for that. You know, like, what is it? Because it's definitely not a car.
Mm-hmm. If it was wood, you could kind of explain away wooden sounds, but the thunk of a car door sounds like an old 72 Chrysler door slamming.
Yep. Yeah, and it's got no business where you're at. Now, I spoke with somebody the other day. I can't remember when, but they were telling me that this was them coming through portals. That's when they come through a portal, you know. How they got to that conclusion, I have no idea. Like, you'd almost, to sell that to me, I'd have to see that.
I agree.
You know what I'm saying?
I've heard it several times, and even going back to the Druids, knocking on wood. That's where the expression come from, knocking on wood. But even then, they said the return wood knock sound was the portal opening and them coming into this plane of existence.
Right.
So, it goes back a long way. It's just how does it progress from wood knocks into 72 Chrysler door slamming?
I have no idea, because the wood knocks, I understand them being in the forest, but the door slamming sound, that has no business there, unless there's a car somewhere. But I'm telling you, some of these people or some of these places I've been when I've heard it, there were no cars. I will admit if there's cars. I'll debunk myself. I try to every single time because you don't want to look like a fool.
Exactly.
And then people start calling you a hoaxer. They start thinking, oh, well, he's not a fool. He's trying to pull one over on somebody. And you don't want that. So you try to debunk everything. But there's a point you get to where there's no more debunking.
Exactly. And that's probably about 12:30, 1 o'clock in the morning. I stopped trying to debunk because it was happening. I mean, there was legit stuff happening, and you could hear the whoop, whoop, just a couple of times coming from across the water. And I don't know why, but I'd never, throughout that time, I wasn't looking across the water with my thermal.
Mm-hmm.
I was right here close to us. I was going around campsites. I was walking up and down, the trail right there and up the water line, looking for stuff. I had the IR camera trying to look. So I didn't look with the thermal until I heard something. I was sitting at the back of the truck and I had just got done with the video and I heard I heard something moving, heard something walking, and I pulled up my thermal and I saw this shadow on thermal. It was just a shadow walking toward my gifting site from my left to my right toward the gifting site.
So that would be, this is the first photo? Is this the one you're talking about?
I think that's the second one. The other one you can see in stride.
Okay.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, there's an obvious change between the two. Now, everybody, I know you can't see my pointer, but we're looking directly in the center of the image. Okay. And so how close together are these pictures taken, Jason?
Almost one right after the other.
One after the other. So you see here the same thing, and he's moving right to left.
He's moving from right to left.
Okay, so you see here's first, and then second there. From the same spot, man. That tree on the right moves a little bit, but you're basically in the same position.
Yeah. If you look at the timestamp right there, it's both 22:16. So
okay, so that's correct.
Yeah.
Okay, so what you're looking at this thing move. Now, are you talking to Gary at this moment, or are you just by yourself?
No, I'm by myself. I'm at the back of my truck by myself, sitting in the chair.
And what happens when you see this? Like, how far do you think it is away, and what do you do next?
That distance away right there is probably 30, 40 yards.
Okay.
From where I was sitting. And I honestly, that one kind of froze me, because after I took the second picture where it looked like he had went away, and when he was walking into that tree line, I flashed my flashlight and there was nothing there. So when I saw there was nothing there, that's whenever I walked over there, and there was literally nothing there.
Gotcha. Now, okay, so what happens next? Because you saw it. So when you say there was nothing there, you're meaning there were no big trees there. It was
no trees. There were no trees. There were no footprints. That's why I don't know what it was, because there was no footprints. And I didn't look during the day. I should have looked during the day, but I looked all around with a flashlight at night and I didn't see any.
Okay. So what happens next?
After that, I go back. I make a few more clips throughout the night. I'm keeping myself updated with my little video diary and shorts and stuff, and continuously hearing the banging, tree knocks across the water, across the lake, continuously hearing whoops. And I get up and I go back down toward my gifting site, because there's a little point. If you go just past where I left the stuff, you can get to the bottom of where the trees, underneath the branch level. Mm-hmm. So I could kind of squat down and look out over the water. And I had my thermal with me at that time, and I was scanning across the water, and that's where I caught the next picture before.
Which picture is it? The one with
the one with the 4.
Okay, so explain this picture to us.
The only thing I can explain is they were walking across water.
Oh, you think they were walking across the water when you took this picture? When it's dry, that's dry land. When it's not flooded, that's dry land right there. Those 4 guys were walking across the water. And there was nothing. After I saw them, I watched them, I saw them, I took my flashlight out and I hit the water. I skimmed over the water. Nobody's there. Wow. Okay. Now, could you hear anything walking through the water?
Nothing. I didn't hear a thing. It was quiet. I just happened to squat down because I was trying to get in position where I could see where the whoops are coming from across the water. And whenever I'm looking is whenever I see these guys, and that one kind of made me teary eyed whenever I saw it. That one got me a little teary eyed. I'm not gonna lie.
Why did you get teary eyed? Is it one of these like you're proud of your daughter moments, or like whoa, you scared? What was going on?
I was. That's the crazy thing. I wasn't really scared, but it was like I can't believe this is happening, and it's like, oh my God, am I really did I really get this picture? You know,
right?
It's like I had chill bumps, and I was, whew, that was a moment for me.
Now, how deep do you think this water is?
At that time, it was, I'd say it may have been about 5 to 10 feet, looking at the tree line. As the water starts receding, you can see mud on the leaves. You can see where the water was, and as it starts going. So judging by the trees that were out there and where the water line was, and looking at it whenever it was dry, the water had gone down a lot Sunday whenever I was out there. So looking at it then, it was probably about between 5 and 10 feet deep.
Okay. Right on. And now what's on the other side of the creek? Like, so when they cross the water, what's over there?
That goes up to a trail that goes. So if they would have kept walking straight, I think they were walking west. I think that's the direction. But if they would have kept walking straight, they would have walked up the other embankment, and that goes to a trail that leads out to the main road.
Gotcha. Okay.
Yeah, so as you're driving into Mystic Springs, on your left, there's a gated trail. And right after the gated trail, there's another little pig trail that they put stumps up that you can't pull a vehicle down. And that's the direction they were walking, toward that trail.
Okay. So, but what you're saying, there's more woods that way. It's not like a residential neighborhood or anything like that.
No, not until well on down the road. Probably a quarter mile in each direction, I would say.
Okay. So this place is not really off in the forest then, is it?
Not a lot. It's not really deep in the woods. There is that is the most secluded site, but there is a paved road that comes down to it. There's a couple of houses on your right. There's a line of houses on your left before you ever cross the railroad tracks to get down there to it.
Right.
And then once you turn into Mystic Springs, as you go to the left in Mystic Springs to the campsites, to the right, there's a dirt road that goes down to more houses, which I want to tell you too. I stopped at a little store there in McDavid and talked to the young lady that works at the store and an old timer in there. And she said they hear things at night that she can't explain. And there's times at night when her dogs are terrified and won't go outside.
Wow. Okay.
And I believe her.
Yeah. Well, that's cool, man. So is this, how many people think live in this area? Is it a small community, or are we talking about like this is just a suburb of like Destin or something?
No, on the paved road to your left as you go in, there's probably 5 houses down that road spread out.
Gotcha.
Maybe 6. And then there's one on the right before the railroad tracks. There's one mobile home there. And I don't know about down the dirt road. I've never been down that dirt road or to the RV park. I didn't go any there.
Right. Okay. So what happens next? You see these things. Have you let Gary know that any of this is happening?
No, I didn't. Right. I think it was right before that or right after that is whenever he saw lights off to his left. The way his van was facing, if he was sitting in his van, I believe he said they were off to his left, maybe to the 9 or 10 o'clock direction. I could not see those through the trees, so I can't verify what those were because the tree line was too thick for me to see. But I was actually kind of freaking out over those. And once I got the pictures, I realized I caught the pictures. I text Gary and told him like I couldn't get them off at the time, so I couldn't show him without physically handing him my camera. But I was finally at the last minute able to get them off, so I could get them on the show last night and on your show tonight.
Yeah, yeah. Well, those pale in comparison to what we're about to look at.
Yeah, this one shook me.
Yeah, this one really would like. Did you switch it back to white heat at this point?
So for whenever I'm looking through it, there's 3 settings that work best for me: black hot, white hot, and glimmer, the green.
Mm-hmm.
For some reason, those are the ones I can see the best on. Red hot and the rainbow and shimmer or whatever that other red is. I don't pick up on that as well. I can't see as much detail as I can with white, black, and glimmer.
Right. I'll switch it. It depends on what the situation is. Mm-hmm. Sometimes black hot's the best. Sometimes white hot's the best. Sometimes I use like that rainbow colored shit.
Yeah, the rainbow. That's the one I can't see in that one. I can't pick it up.
You can sometimes. It just depends. It's kind of better in the rain for me. Like black hot's good, but a lot of times the damn trees, if you're trying to walk and look through it in black hot, some of them trees will wash out and you'll walk right into something. But on that like purplish red stuff, they come out pretty good. So, it just depends on what the temperature is and where I'm at, depending on what palette I use. And I do change it throughout the night. So this picture, I believe these are both the same pictures. One is the wide and one is cropped in. Am I correct?
No, that's 2 different pictures. I took one zoomed out and one zoomed in. Okay,
so walk us into this scene, all right?
So I've been awake most of the night. I took 2 30-minute naps because it was god awful out there. It was so hot and there's so many mosquitoes. It was really unbearable. I understand why Gary slept in the van now. I really do. But was at 4:30 in the morning, and I got up, and it was like I felt like it was gonna be my last look around, and had to use the bathroom. So I walked over, did my business. I heard whoop, whoop, and that's when I started looking. And I was like, "Let me get my thermal." I grabbed my thermal and I gave it a look, and I saw that guy sitting there. And he was just kind of staring at me for a little bit. And I was like, I could not figure out what he was. And I cycled through all of my things, all of the settings, and this was the best one he showed up on.
Okay. And then that's the wide picture, but it's the zoomed in that really does it. Because I don't know if y'all can see that smack dab in the center of the screen. There looks like 2 eyes on this image. And I can't for the life of me think why there's 2 eyes there.
I couldn't either. I looked all around. And whenever I went, we went back Sunday. My wife and I went back over there, and I trekked in there. I walked the power line and the tree line down to where he's sitting right there. And there's nothing there that would have given off that signature naturally.
No, well, you never, like, here's the deal. So you couldn't see those eyes without the thermal?
I could not.
You could not. So what's weird is like thermal doesn't put off a light, right? It takes light in. That's how it's able to tell you the temperature of everything and stuff like that. But what we see here, you're filming this thing, I believe, straight on.
Yeah, it was directly across.
Across what?
Across the lake. That was directly across the lake from me. That is about, I have to say, about 125 yards, maybe. I have a rangefinder, but I didn't hit it with a rangefinder. I had planned on doing that Friday afternoon. Whenever I go back out there, I'm gonna shoot a laser across there and see how far that distance is.
Right. I can't understand what the eyes are, unless they put off the heat. Right. Or
Exactly.
hey, it could be because I just thought about it now. It could be because they're like kind of the brow ridge makes them seem like they're sunk down in the back of the head, but that's really hard that would be really hard to hoax. I don't know how you would do that, because it's like that socket is hotter than the rest of the creature standing there.
And I have to tell you, whenever I didn't realize at the time that I had caught that picture. I saw it and I tried to take the picture, and I was trying to take video, and I don't know how to run my damn thermal. I know how to take pictures. I mean, after Googling and a lot of AI research, I know how to get the video to work now. I took those pictures, and I didn't realize I got this one until I got home. I took a nap and I woke up, and I was sitting there looking through the images on the thermal, and I yelled. I was like, "Whoo, hot damn!" It's like I got it. It's like, oh my god.
Yeah, when you sent me this one, it was, I think I was in the middle of what was I doing? I can't remember what I was doing. I was in the middle of something, and
I can't remember.
Yeah, when you sent me these, and I looked at them, and when I looked at it, it was like, I believe it was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and I was like, damn it, I can't text him now. So, but yeah, dude, this catch right here, this is one of the coolest ones. Now, how high do you think that is off of the ground?
Go back to the other picture.
Okay.
Now, if you look at those trees around him, I went back to that area I showed you, and I looked at the thermal. I looked across at this picture, and you could see that little white spot to his right. We're looking at it, and it's on our right, his left. That picture there.
Yeah.
That's a dead tree, and that dead tree is probably about, I'd say, 20 foot tall, and he is about halfway, almost halfway. He's almost halfway up that dead tree.
Okay. Now, you said this is across the lake?
Across the lake. You see the bright white at the bottom?
Yeah.
That is the reflection. That's the water.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. Well, you see kind of in the middle, there's like a darker line that runs, and it almost runs behind him. And it makes me wonder if he's not standing in the water himself. If you're looking at it, there's you see that kind of dark line right in the center of the photo.
Yes.
That looks almost like the water line to me. Do you think he could have been standing in the water?
No, because I know the tree on the left of the photo that has the fork and that large oak on the far right, both of them are on dry land.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha.
With brush, there's a brush and smaller trees in front of them.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and then you take this other picture immediately after that, and this is basically just zoomed in.
Yeah, I zoomed in there. I think I went to the 4. It's only got a 4 times zoom. So
right.
But yeah, he's right there. He's about halfway up that dead tree almost, and that's about 8 or 9 foot.
Wow, that's an amazing catch, brother. That really, like, most people don't get photos that good.
Thank you.
And here you have got it very soon in your Bigfooting career.
Very lucky.
Yeah.
But hey, thanks to Gary. I give thanks to Gary. He came to you with the story, and you hooked us up. I went out there to check it out, and that place is off the charts. There's so much stuff going on. I can't wait to go back Friday.
Yeah, speaking of people, we will be going live this Friday evening after episode 3 of Journey to Belief airs here on the channel. And Jason, you'll be out there. Are you gonna be by yourself this time again, or are you gonna have Scotty or any of the guys with you?
They want to come, but they are traveling to Alabama for our family reunion. So they will be too far away and won't get here in time to get over there with me. Dan's tried to make it work, and he's still trying to, but I don't know if he'll be able to. So I will be sitting in the spot that guy was sitting at in the photo. I'm going to be sitting in his spot by myself.
So are you going to do anything to prepare for the mosquitoes this time? Or are you still just going to try to wing it?
No, I definitely got actually Sam from Sam's Pretty Paranormal put us on some peppermint oil that helps a lot with mosquito repelling. It's I don't want to go out there and be eated up the whole time. So
yeah, dude, we had this stuff last weekend. It was like eucalyptus and lemon.
Oh yeah, that works pretty good.
It did. It worked great, but it lit my skin on fire.
Yeah.
It was like I had drank. No, well, it was in a spray bottle. You just spray it on.
Oh.
Yeah, and I'm telling you, it was like you ever taken those drinks where you gotta clean your urine real quick, and they're full of niacin.
Oh God.
Yeah, yep. I remember the first time I did that. I was in California. It was the finals, like the final auditions for Bigfoot Bounty, and they were making us drug test. And we were sweating bullets. We're like, oh no, oh no, we're going to fail. And so we drink all this, like these detox drinks, and they were full of niacin. And then they had me running on a treadmill because they check your heart rate. And that stuff was just lighting me up, dude. My face was itching and burning so bad. And then they're like, we're like, I can't remember what it was. I just said something to the lady. I was like, yo, I'm about to fail this drug test. She's like, what do you mean? I was like, I smoke all the time. And she's like, oh, we ain't even looking for that. And I was like, damn, man, I done drink. Because you got to drink the bottle, right? And then you got to fill it up 4 or 5 times and drink that too. And yeah, dude, we were sweating it, bro, but for nothing. But yeah, I hope you get you a Thermosil or something, man, because these skeeters ain't no joke, bro.
Especially they were horrible. As soon as I stepped out of the truck the other day, they just hit me upside the head. It's like they remembered me. They're like, "What's up, bro?"
Yeah, right. So, are you going to do anything different this time than you did the last time?
I don't think so. I think I'm going to sit still. The last live we did, we walked around and looked a little bit more.
Mm-hmm.
This time I'm going to sit right there in the heart of all that action from last week because I was able to hike to the backside. So I'm going to sit in the spot where he was sitting at in my photo, and I might talk to him a little more and interact, see if I can get some interaction and stuff, but that's going to be it.
Right. So do you think maybe you'll take an audio recorder with you though?
I will be taking a voice recorder. I was going to leave it up trail from me a little bit.
Yeah.
That way it doesn't pick up as much of us talking back and forth on camera.
Right. Well, okay. So you had a couple things. People want to think Bigfoot is, just a biological creature. And then people want to think there's some kind of paranormal element to it. Unfortunately, the evidence doesn't support either one. It really doesn't. When you look at all of it, it's just a big confusing ball of yarn. But you experienced a couple of things, 3 things. You experienced your camera equipment going dead. Mm-hmm. Okay. You experienced lights out there. in the woods, right? And then you film this thing that looks like its eyes are glowing. What do you take away from all of that?
I think I'm in the camp. I think I'm fully in the woo camp because I believe it's all connected. Every time I say every time like I've done it my whole life, but it's just been the past 7 months that I've been doing it. But every time I've been on an expedition, I've been in the woods and we've been looking and we've done something. There's been the lights, there's been the noises, and then we've had interactions with what we thought was a Sasquatch.
Right.
Almost it started in Osceola, full body apparition. We saw it in the Sasquatch cross the road.
Right.
We saw the prints. You saw it. Logan saw it. And then on Swanee River, twice I saw lights on 2 of our trips. One of the trips with the lights, we had tree knocks and the noises, and then across the river during the middle of the night, it was crazy. Like the samurai talk and all that. And then this trip to Mystic Springs, Torreya, me and you and Torreya, whenever we walking up and down the road with the lights and the whistling and all that.
Now, what do you think the lights are?
I think it's them. I think it's the beings. I truly do. I think that's how they move around, and that's how they don't get caught. That's just my belief. And there's no proof that says I'm wrong.
No, there's not.
There's none that says I'm right either, though.
Well,
there's a lot more evidence that points to me being right.
Well, you have to discern what you're experiencing, right? That's why I hate when people come into this field and they've seen Finding Bigfoot, so they think they're going to go and whoop and holler and do knocks, and then they've seen the Patty thing, they've seen or listened to Moorhead sounds.
Right.
I wish people would come into it with a clear mind, because you experience a lot more than just that.
Yeah.
And, because that ape side of it, that does explain away some of the stuff, but it's only about 40% of the phenomena is explained by it being a primate of some type, a biological creature. You have this other 60% that is really strange. People taking stuff home with them, that kind of hitchhiker effect, being tagged kind of thing. The batteries going dead, the lights. These are all things that people experience with the paranormal, and they're also experiencing with Sasquatch. So if you go by just your experiences, to you can make that case. The problem is you can't pull up to the 7-Eleven and convince that dude standing there on the corner.
No.
Because you have nothing to show. You do here. You have some stuff to show, but outside of that, you can't tell nothing about the lights or the battery going dead. People just think, you didn't charge it.
Exactly. But if it's consistent over time with different equipment and different people's equipment, that's consistency. But Gary lost his batteries too in the trail cam he had set up. They took one picture, the picture that of the orb, or what I believe was the orb, the light, and then it was dead.
Wow. Yeah, that's just, me and my dad got the thermal. Those were brand new batteries, and he hit record. He got about 20 seconds of it, and then it died. Camera died. No reason. It just went out, Yep. And that's what makes this whole thing kind of aggravating. I know with our recorders we got out for the Alabama Bigfoot project, dude, we've spent money on recorders now. We've gotten really nice ones, and we're still having problems. Like last time, one of them only ran 16 days and the other one ran like 4 hours. They should both be able to run like 25 days. You know, and we're catching stuff on them, but they just die. And then like when we try to switch the card out and start it back up, you can't get them to start up in the woods. But the second you walk up to the house, I mean, you ain't even got to get inside. You just stand there on the porch and they work again.
Wow.
It's the most aggravating thing because, hell, we started this project in February and we have yet to figure out this audio recorder issue.
Now, are you going? Go ahead.
It shouldn't be an issue. It's just an audio recorder. Put it out there and turn the fucking thing on.
Exactly. Now, and I was going to ask, are you going until next February, or are you going to stop it?
Yeah, no, we're running a year out there, and just going to kind of see what we can gather. The problem is right now we've got too much shit to listen to.
Yeah, that's the problem.
You know, we got 12 hours for every single day. Wow. You know, and that's since February. So we're sitting on that right now. And some of the stuff that we have caught is actually pretty amazing. Some of the best audio I've ever caught. But who knows what's on the rest of it? It's bad. But yeah, as Brian says, Brian goes out there with me. He was out there last time. These audio recorders drive me crazy.
Have you put them up on your site yet? Any of the catches?
No, we got to kind of get back into that. I was wanting to get into it from the jump, but we just kept. It was like, damn, we're dropping the ball. We put the audio recorders out and they're turned off. The card was gone in one. Another one was like pulled out of the tree and slung down the ravine.
Wow.
Yeah, and then so it's like, okay, hey, we're gonna put stuff out there that you can't touch. That you got to turn on with your cell phone and all that. It didn't matter. Didn't matter at all. It's like the one that worked fine last time only recorded for like 3 or 4 hours this time. The one that only recorded 3 or 4 hours last time, it went 16 days.
So it's not the recorder. You can tell it's not the recorder itself. It goes back and forth between recorders.
Yeah, and it's not operator error.
Right.
You know, that's awesome. Another thing. Like I would normally say if it was just me running it, I'm like, yeah, there's a dumbass in the mix. It's an operator error. But you know, Brian, Tyler, Flat Rock, we're all running these recorders. We can't all be messing it up.
Right. It's not you guys. There's paranormal in it. I mean, it's just they go hand in hand. You can't I can't deny it, and you it seems like you can't deny it now either. No, I can't. I've been there, you know, probably about at least 3-4 years now, to where it's just I still do things in case it's a primate, but at the same time I'm trying to make a connection through, like you see me, I play my singing bowl. Right. I talk to the woods and stuff like that. And, you know, you do something very similar. Yes. And that's, you know, part of those catches, I believe the figure walking toward the gifting site and then the 4 walking across the water. I truly think I caught those because of the opening ceremony and the gift, because of the song and speaking the phrase to them that I speak. Now, what are you saying to them? What are you doing with your ceremony? So I play the song from the Mixsaki tribe. You know, it's a opening ceremony. It's a welcome song. It was recorded in 1959 by a Mixsaki elder. Mm-hmm. So it's an authentic song. I didn't just go find and rip. I got this from the state archives. And then I have a phrase that I say, and it's basically, I say hello, and I address it. I used to address it as Ishte Chapka, which is hairy man or tall man in Muskogee, but I refer to him as the Hosa now, which is the forest, is his entity, the forest entity, of Bigfoot, Sasquatch. So, hello, Yehosa. I tell him my name, where I'm from, basically that I'm a healer, or I come from a family of healers. I tell him it's good to get to know each other, and I invite him to come eat.
Now, what did you leave? What did you leave on your gifting station?
I leave. This time I left sweet corn, coffee beans from that Gary had brought and gifted me. I left him some coffee beans, tobacco, and an apple.
Was
and blueberries.
Was anything gone?
Not the next morning. It wasn't, but of course when I went back, everything was gone Sunday. So, but that was it's been 2 weeks. I can't say. I mean, some kid could have came and kicked down the river or something.
Now, somebody in the chat is thinking that could be a great horned owl in the picture that you have there. So let's look up. Large common, blah, blah. Do we have them in Florida? Let's see here. I don't know if they're in Florida. I've never seen one. However, yes, they are year-round residents of Florida. Wow. Okay. Hey, well, that's what he believes that it could be. That's what the one guy said. I'm not sure. I don't understand why the eyes would be a different color.
I don't either. I can tell you I don't know what it was, because obviously I didn't see it in pure daylight. I saw it through the thermal.
Yeah.
I know what it looks like in the thermal picture.
Yeah. It would be interesting when you go this Friday to if you're going to get in that spot, but you're not going to have nobody with you. So shit. Well, it would be interesting to get if you could get a size recreation. You know what I mean? Yeah,
I'm gonna take a tape measure with me to measure that dead tree.
Mm-hmm.
And try. I'm gonna take once it gets. I can't do it once. I would have to do it after the live and go back over there to the campsite and take a picture at night. But somebody has reserved that campsite.
Ah, okay, gotcha.
So, because my wife Stacy, she actually volunteered to go with me and sit at the campsite and watch me across the water.
Right.
That way she could watch my truck and watch me and everything. But, I told her, with all the stuff I saw, I told her flat out, it's like, I wouldn't feel comfortable unless you had somebody with you.
Right. Because you're going to leave her.
Yeah. And not just for the pictures I caught, but it's a campsite and there's other people at the campsite. I don't trust people. There's nothing in those woods I believe will hurt me, but I don't trust other people.
Right. I mean, hey, if I take my gun with me in the woods, it's just for other people.
Yeah.
And my gun ain't gonna do nothing to a Sasquatch anyways.
I told the guy Saturday night when I was talking to Richie and them, I don't even carry my sidearm anymore. After the light experience in Swanee, after it happened, it felt so peaceful, I just felt at ease, and I really haven't been afraid of anything since then. I just want to walk out into the woods in the middle of the night. That's all I want to do.
Yeah.
So I don't even carry my sidearm. I do have a knife with me. But
right. You got to have something, man. You got to have something, bro. And that's, I'm bad about leaving any type of protection at the house or, having any protection on me. That's why I got 3 kids too. So it goes all the way around.
Hell, that's why. And when we were in Torreya, when we were at Torreya, and that car had come driving by while we were half a mile down the road, and I was like, "Crap! I left my gun in the truck, and it was unlocked because we wouldn't expect anybody down there."
What was up with that? The kid in the back and the pot smoke that was rolling out of that car. That was rough, bro.
Yeah.
Why go ride with your child? Why go ride with your child if you're gonna smoke dope? Just stay at the house and walk outside. But you're off in the middle of the woods, in the middle of nowhere with your kids. So it's kind of that was sketchy. That was super sketchy. So will you be staying the whole night this Friday?
No, because I have to get ready for the family reunion next day. Like I said, I'm going to be up Friday morning smoking Boston Butts for the reunion, and then I'll go to Mystic Springs and I'll be out there for 4 or 5 hours.
Right.
Because I'm going to get there during the daytime because I do want to speak to the people that's in that campsite. Mm-hmm. And let them know, hey, I'm going to be across the water and we're going to be doing something. So if you hear something, don't shoot at me or anything, Right.
Well, they may not even show up depending on what the weather's going to be like. And
that's very true. But then when I come home after that, I will be finishing up the Boston Butts and getting them ready for the reunion next day.
Where's the reunion at? Y'all got a big family?
We do have a big family. There's going to be a pretty good turnout this year, and it's going to be up in Daleville.
Okay.
So we're from Southeast Alabama, Geneva County, as I've said before, but that whole area in Southeast Alabama. My uncle and his family, they live in Daleville and have for a long time. So we're going to have it up there in Daleville.
Right on. Hell yeah. Well, I guess let's tell people where they can find you at, because your channel's growing. And
with a lot of love from you guys.
You guys. And we're trying to push it your way, man. I was sitting there editing the new Cabin in the Woods episode, and I got the notification. I was like, what better stuff to listen to? I tried to stay in the chat, but I was constantly cutting and looking at Robert's face, like, y'all like them Cabin in the Woods videos, brother. You stare at that man for 15 hours. It's funny now because when he's filming his copy where he's like telling the story and all that, if he messes up, he'd be like, "Sorry, Stacy." I'm like, "Oh, you're welcome."
Well, do you ever look up just like in a muscle memory and be like, "It's okay, don't worry about it."
Yeah, that's it. Well, I've got it. I'm getting pretty good with it to see his cadence and all that stuff. But yeah, it was cool. It was the first one of your live shows that I had caught. That I ever able to actually watch all the way through. So it's good stuff, man.
That. Thank you very much.
I can't believe who was it, Dan?
Yeah.
He went to Prince Edward Island and didn't he know about that footage?
He didn't, and I didn't know about it. And the crazy thing is he asked around the island and he said nobody in the island told him about it.
That is weird, man. That is weird. I wonder if that's a real video. I don't know. I always thought it was real. I'd never heard nothing like negative about it.
It makes you wonder now if none of the locals push it.
Yeah. Well, they probably just don't want people there.
That could be true too.
Oh yeah. You don't want a bunch of crazies running around looking for Bigfoot on your island.
It would be cool to live on an island with a Bigfoot though.
Oh yeah. But when he was saying there were no animals on the island, I was thinking to myself, yeah, if Bigfoot's real, he doesn't have to worry about eating, I guess, to be out there. So
that's right.
Well, yeah, where can people find you, man?
Yeah, you can find us on YouTube at Papa Squatch Productions. We're on Facebook under the same Papa Squatch Productions and TikTok. And on Instagram, we're Squatch Pop.
Squatch Pop. Was Papa Squatch already taken?
I don't know if it was taken or that's just the one they assigned, and we were like, okay, we'll go with it.
Right.
But,
so last time I talked to you in person, I believe you said that you told me something about one of your family members had come forward about after your, saying that he had weird stuff happen too.
I have one of my uncles he's come forward and he wants to tell us about his experience. We don't have all the details of it yet. Because it was just one of those conversations. When we get it actually at the family reunion this weekend, we're going to talk to him about the details of it. And we're hoping to put something together in September to go back and do a live and get his story and all that. So, but yes, he had an experience as well down at the land where I had my experience. And whenever we were at the Bigfoot conference in Ocala, one of my good buddies from Samson, Mark Barnes, he hollered at me, which was crazy. He's like, Jason Monk. And I like, who's calling my name in Ocala? And it was Mark. And he told me then, I introduced you guys. He had experiences back in the 90s there that I never knew about. So that made me feel a lot better. Right. I got my uncle, he's coming forward to tell his story, and somebody not related to me who lived in the area is telling their story too about what happened down there. So that made me feel really good.
Well, I bet, man, it's a little bit of reassurance, validation.
It's very reassuring. Very much reassuring. And that's what I was saying, the validation in it, and it's just not for me. I knew for myself, I knew what I saw was real, but it's everybody who questioned me and laughed at me and doubted me, whenever I told my story. And now people in the same area have seen things in that area too. So it's just, it felt like it lifted a weight.
Right. Well, I won't tell you what to do in the field. However, I will give you, if it gets quiet out there Friday night, my son brought this up to me when he was younger and we tried it and it worked. Mm-hmm. There's an app and it is called, hold on, I believe I still got it on here. Oh, I don't. Why do I not? It's Sonic. So yeah, it's just called Sonic, right? And it is a like a frequency tone generator. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and what you can do with that is if it is quiet in the woods and you got a speaker, we played it through my car speakers, but it was so quiet and my son's like, yo, let's try this. And I put it up to a frequency that we can't hear and blasted it. And brother, the amount of wildlife that was just within feet of us that we had no idea was even there. They just went nuts because it's like the dog whistle thing.
Right.
You can blow it all you want. It won't hurt us, but if there's a dog nearby, it goes nuts. And so just a little tool for the trade. Anybody out there squatching, if you catch it and it seems like nothing is going on in the woods, bust out that app and play it through some type of speaker so you can get the volume up. And you may be shocked because I swear to you that every time we do it, the woods come alive.
That's awesome. You have to send me the link.
I'll send it to you. Y'all give that a shot while y'all out there this week, man. Maybe to help out.
Okay, I will try it definitely if it gets quiet enough. That would be awesome.
Well, brother, I'm going to let you get off of here, man, but I will see you Friday night, 9 p.m., live from Mystic Springs.
Yes, sir.
So we're going to go ahead and take some calls for the rest of the evening. But
Right on. I appreciate you. Thank y'all very much. And to everybody who shows me love in the chat, and Richie B, Sam's Pretty Paranormal, Jared Lowe, all you guys, I appreciate it. Scotty and Dan appreciate it. We were talking earlier, and I honestly feel like I found my tribe. It's just like we click. It's just like we've known each other for a long time, but we really haven't.
yeah, well, brother, that's what I tell people about, because I was able to send you out there, and then you were able to have these experiences and get these photos. And that, I don't know, maybe people think I'm full of shit or something. That means a lot to me, right? Like to be able to have somebody that I trust to follow up. And I've met everybody through this community here. And it's been a beautiful thing. It's been the best thing to come from this podcast, in my opinion, for me. So
it's really great. So thank you. Thank you, everyone. Love you all, guys. Rock on, brother.
All right, buddy. I'll see you Friday, man.
Yes, sir.
All right, bye. All right, everybody. Which frequency did we use, Steve? It's got like a little meter on it, and you can slide it all the way up. And so whatever all the way up is what frequency we used, but it'll go to where you can't really hear it anymore. And apparently animals can. So I'm going to switch my headphones out. You want to take some calls tonight? We could take some calls if y'all want. Make sure I'm hooked up here on my end before I turn the lines on. But that was cool. That was cool for Jason to go out there after, Gary came on the show and talked about his encounters. It was cool for Jason to be able to follow up and then have encounters of his own. Hopefully this is what I'm going for, people. I'd like to build a network of people that I'm friends with, that people I can trust, that are good people. And, that way when reports come in, I can send somebody out and maybe they can have their own encounters. That in itself is my goal with all of this. Okay, now we can get back to this. All right, captions. All right, and now the lines are open. Y'all call in. You have questions, experiences, any of that jazz. 850-695-0522. We'll take calls for the next hour or so. Once again, this Friday evening, 4 teams, 1 location, or 4 teams, 4 locations, 1 night. We're going to be live from the forests of North America, looking for the Sasquatch people and hopefully having an encounter with all of you nice people. Jason will be from Mystic Springs, where he got those photos. We'll have Jared Lowe. He will be live from the Green Swamp. Mike Aguilar will be from the Withlacoochee State Forest. And Richie B will be in the Bridgewater Triangle. I'm kind of jealous, because it's really not hot in the Bridgewater Triangle. I know they complain it being hot. Look at that photo of me. It kind of makes me look like the dude from Sons of Anarchy. Except prettier. What? Beta. Also, members only expedition, October 1st through 4th in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky. It's free for members. If you're not a member, all you got to do is sign up and then shoot me an email. Okay? We're going to be out there. We're going to have live entertainment, live podcasts. We're going to go out and try to have an experience with the Sasquatch ourselves. So, are you ready to answer the call? Shoot me an email, bigfootstacy13@gmail.com. A members only expedition. These only happen once a year. This will be our inaugural one. It's going to be October 1st through the 4th in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky. The absolute best time to camp in the Red River Gorge, by the way. Leaves are going to be changing. Weather's going to be prime. And it's not going to be cold, people. Okay, August 22nd at 1901 Maine, or 1901 on Maine. Bigfoots and Brews. Y'all come listen to me, Jason Monk, and Dustin Tudup ramble about Bigfoot. You can share your stories, ask questions. It's going to be like a big AA meeting, except there will be alcohol there because this is a Bigfoot event, right? You'll also be able to order lunch. It's a full restaurant and all that stuff. So I met the owner at the Great Florida Bigfoot Conference, and she asked me to come speak. And so we set it up. It'll be August 22nd in Chipley, Florida. So if you're in North Florida, South Georgia, or Alabama, come hang out with us. You'll enjoy yourself. These photos are awesome, though. Like, I almost thought this one here was, he's walking to our right, kind of the way it's bent. But then when you go to this photo, it looks like he's moving the other way. So I'm not really sure what position his body is in. And then this photo, some people saying it's a gray horned owl. I don't know, but that definitely looks creepy. Maybe it is. I'm not saying, but he was hearing whoops and knocks as well. So definitely pretty cool. Vicky 3671 is asking Stacy, did you hear about the 8 Bigfoot sightings in 4 different counties in March in Cleveland, Ohio? Vicky, I did. And it was really cool to have a bunch of sightings bust out like that in that area. The last time I remember that happening was like 2014 in Mayaca City, Florida, where there were just a bunch of encounters. The whole community was seeing the things. And originally, you know, with what happened up in Ohio, at first I thought it was a hoax because they all went to Jeremiah, which is odd because Jeremiah is not the BFRO. None of us are, right? They're the kind of ones that get the majority of the reports. And for them to all go to Jeremiah was quite strange. You know, it seemed like somebody was putting it up. But then I was talking to my buddy Shane Grove, and Shane told me that he talked to somebody. He got the first encounter, and there was flesh and like hair retrieved from that. And they even apparently got a video and shot the thing or something like that. But the guy couldn't come forward because he worked for the state. So who knows? It was a very interesting time. Had I had the money at the time, I would have flown up there immediately. But I will be ready for the next one. So Vicky also says, I want to go on that Bigfoot expedition, but my email doesn't work, so I can't get any info. Well, Vicky, you have to sign up for members, and then you have to pay ahead of time. Okay? I guess if your email doesn't work, you can't get me your phone number. You can call this number after hours and leave a voicemail, and I can call you back. Okay, we got a call. Let me go to that. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hey, Stacy Brown Jr. It's Johnny D with Deep Woods Protocol.
What is going on, brother?
And not a whole lot right this second. I'm in the Chattahoochee National Forest tonight, and I'm going in the woods. The sun just started going down. I'm going to go in the woods tonight. But last week I come out here and I had a few things happen that I thought were pretty cool. I'd tell you about.
Yeah, go ahead, man.
I come out here to the Chattahoochee National Forest, and I was planning on staying the night, but I forgot my tent when I got out here, so that was a whole kerfluffle. But at one point during the night, I was walking past an area that I had already been to previously, no more than 2 hours, probably a little less than that, and I found there was a dead crow on the ground. So I start moving the crow with my foot, trying to look at it and see if I could see if something attacked it or what, maybe a cat or something like that. And in the midst of me moving it around with my foot, a rock come out of the forest, hit directly behind me, and skipped several feet on the ground. It was plain as day. I freaked out a little bit, so
I bet.
I almost took off running, but I stopped myself. But I shined my light everywhere around. Didn't see anything. Later on, when it was time to go to sleep, I was wore out, and I didn't have my tent, so I literally just laid some towels I have in my truck on the ground, and I kind of used my truck as a little bit of cover. And I laid down, and I finally fell asleep, and I was asleep for roughly around 20 minutes, not very long. And I heard the loudest knock sound I've ever heard in my life, even louder than the one that was directly in front of me. It just echoed throughout the forest and woke me up out of a dead sleep. But that was the only sound. It was just one loud pop, and then I didn't hear anything else out of them.
Now, did you have an audio? Did you have an audio recorder or anything rolling?
The only thing that I currently use is my phone camera, and of course, it wasn't running. I had it for the rock, when the rock was thrown at me, but when I went to sleep, no, of course not. Why would I?
Yeah, right.
I'm being sarcastic, but that's the way it goes.
So is this outside of Helen? Where is this at in the hey, let me get you to turn your speakers off. This is like an echo right now.
All right, give me 1 second here.
Yeah.
Is that better on you?
Yeah, that fixed it. Okay, so you said you were in the Chattahoochee National Forest. Now, are you up outside of Helen?
I am about 25 miles west of Helen.
Okay, I got you. Yeah,
maybe a hair, some 25 miles west of Helen.
Well, we used to do a lot of Bigfooting up there when I first started. That was the one spot we would leave and go to. I mean, mainly because we liked it. We like Helen anyways, but
it's a cool place.
Yeah, there was always a bunch of activity. We were there one time and a tornado came up one of the mountains we were staying on. And like, luckily it didn't cross over the top of the mountain. But when we were trying to leave, we had to go another road to get out, to get off the damn mountain.
Yeah, I went by the Bigfoot Museum in Cherry Log, Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
And I asked them, I said, what are the top 3 places in the area? If you had to find one, if you had to have some kind of experience, where would you go? Right outside of Helen was one. It's a place called Raven Cliff. Kind of ominous name, but
yep.
And then out here where I'm at, just west of Helen, and the other one was very close to Raven Cliff as well. But
yeah,
I'm back out here at the spot where I took off on the mountain that night. I packed all my stuff up and I left the mountain that night, regrettably. So I've come back.
Oh, you did? You rolled out at the air that knock.
Yeah, a few minutes after. I stayed about 35, 40 minutes, and I just had this, you know that feeling I'm talking about, that overbearing presence feeling, like staring you down.
Mm-hmm.
Like I just couldn't shake it after that. and I just got so uncomfortable that I just couldn't concentrate anymore. So I was like, I'm out. But I'm back tonight.
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
going in as soon as we finish this phone call.
You don't learn your damn lesson, but it sounds like. But
no, I don't. But I mean,
people talk a good game when they're like, I'll go stay out there in the woods by myself. I don't believe in Bigfoot. I tell you what, if I go out with a group of people and I'm camping out there, I like to get off by myself. A lot of times then people want to come and pitch a tent right next to me. I'm like, hold up, you didn't believe in Bigfoot. Go, yeah, it's over there.
Yeah, get on away from here, boy.
Yeah, shit. I don't want you to hear me snoring and farting all night. That's for me and the Bigfoot.
With that feeling, it's not the feeling, if anybody hasn't experienced it, it's not a feeling of like, oh no, there's a Bigfoot looking at me. It's not like that. It's just like this. You're not necessarily thinking Bigfoot. You're just thinking like, okay, something has got a bead on me and is staring me down. And at any moment, I'm about to get got. That's what it feels like.
Now,
high anxiety.
How far do you live from there?
This is about a 2.5 hour drive for me.
Okay. Now, do you have pretty good service out there?
I do at the base of the trail, which I'm standing next to my truck where you park the vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
But once you go up into the woods, it's SOS.
Oh, is it? Right on. Yeah. That makes sense.
You can move a little bit and get it. There's certain spots where it kind of opens up where you can get like LTE, enough service to call for help if you had an emergency, maybe. But there's no internet surfing or reliable text or calls.
Right. Well, how often do you go out there?
Well, last week was the first time that I've been here, that I've come up here. I came years ago, but I didn't do anything like this. I came and I walked around during the day, went to the museum, etc. But this is my second time here, like actually going into the woods at night alone and seeing what I can see.
Right on. Yeah. So you got a YouTube channel as well. Let's go ahead and plug that while we got you on here, man.
That'd be awesome. I just started it a few weeks ago. It's called Deep Woods Protocol. And if you check it out, that'd be sick. I just started, so cut me some slack, but I'm working on it. Yeah,
we all got to start somewhere, brother. I'm sure it's not as bad as you make it sound.
Nah, I do my best.
Yeah, that's all you can do, brother. But you just investigated the story in Bainbridge. Is that correct?
It was in Brooks County, but very close to Bainbridge.
Right. Now, what went on with that? Like, what was the story that the guy had, and then what happened with your investigation?
So my sister and brother-in-law live out in Brooks County. It's nothing but farmland. They're in a small town called Morven, Georgia. So when you go to the corner store, you see people you know. Well, my brother-in-law went to the store one morning and met one of the farmers, and he had a few people standing around him. And he's like, what's going on? And he's like, I think I saw a flipping Bigfoot. And he's like, hold up. I know just the guy you need to talk to. So he called me, and I talked to the farmer there, and he told me what he saw. He said he was cleaning the rows. It was cotton rows, just cotton for acres and acres. He come around a bend, and he said he seen one squatted down, and as soon as he come around the corner on the edge of the line, there's an area where there's a clean water, like a little spring.
Mm-hmm.
He said he come around the corner and he stood up, froze, and then took off and run into the woods there. And I was able to get out there. That's about a 2-hour drive for me, but I was able to get out there about a week after it happened. I had to work, so it took me a few days to get there, but
right.
But when I was out there, I didn't hear much. Nothing crazy happened. I found one. I'm on the video on my page. I found a print, but it's not definitive. I can't say that it wasn't something else or possibly a black bear, even though they're extremely rare there.
Yeah, I know South Georgia doesn't have a whole lot of them.
Yep. And I tried to get the farmer to, do an interview with me since I was making videos about it, and he didn't have any interest in it.
Now,
I couldn't get him to.
How far are the wildfires still going on in South Georgia? Do you
Not
know?
that I'm aware of. No, that's been done for a little while.
Okay.
A couple months. If they're still going, they're not severe enough to be newsworthy.
Right. Well, there's a lot of activity going on in South Georgia right now. And I know Two Crows that was in the chat here earlier. He told me he needs to get on a call with me and Jimmy. And Jimmy I interviewed a while back. He's in South Georgia in Climax. And he has stuff going on his property. And he just sent me the other day some new structures that have been left on there. And so I know something happened over by Two Crows' hunting lease, and I don't know if Two Crows is on to something else as well. But those aren't the only two stories I'm hearing. I mean, I'm hearing yours, and I've got like 4 other people that have called me from that area and told me about their encounters, just kind of in South Georgia, right above the line here in like Bainbridge, Thomasville, outside of those places. So it seems to be a good area, and I would have never thought that because it's so dry in South Georgia. Like compared to, down in Florida. That's what I think's happened. I think the fires have displaced them, making them move and things like that. But that's pretty cool, man. So what did you gather from your whole investigation you had there?
It was tough to say there because really the only thing that I had to go by is what the farmer told me over the phone. There's plenty of deer out there. There's plenty of food sources. There's good, clean water. He spotted it next to a spring, which makes sense, correlates to what you just said about it being so dry and hot down there. And it was a nice, cool spring. So, as far as gathering any more information on it, I personally didn't find any more evidence other than what he said. And I'm not going to, try to sugarcoat it or say something's going on that's not. But there's nothing. I didn't find anything.
Well, with when you go back, because South Georgia is so dry, I would just hang out around that spring or any kind of water source that's in that area, because that's where they're going to be. We just said how hot it is. How hot it is there. And I don't know that it's
fire.
Oh yeah, dude. The problem is it's so dusty. It's different. You have the humidity, but not like the humidity here, closer to the coast. It just makes it seem, and it's not dry by any means, but it just seems dry and it's so hot.
Well, I mean, Brooks County is only like an hour from you, an hour and 15 minutes. North.
Yeah. Well, I'm like
it's super close.
5 minutes from the coast. So, so it's a little bit more humid here. You can kind of feel it. Like we were filming last weekend in Sop Choppy. We're shooting this short film, Invasion of the G-Nats. And dude, it was like you were in the bathroom when somebody was taking a hot ass shower.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to say that on YouTube, so I'll keep that to myself, but it gets pretty swampy.
Yeah, it does.
It's pretty swampy.
Well, brother, I am doing these lives once a month now, where we have teams out in the woods, hunting Bigfoot live. So if you would like to join us one day, I would say this Friday, but it sounds like you don't have good service where you're going to be at. But if you're in an area where you can live stream, where you can have good service, absolutely jump on the next one. I'd love for you to, help you promote your channel and it just help us cover more of the country, because we haven't had anybody go live from Georgia yet. And we're definitely wanting to do that.
That'd be awesome. I can figure something out, especially with what's that thing Elon come out with, that Starlink?
Oh yeah, Starlink. Like,
strap that sucker to my backpack.
Well, they've got a new one, a Starlink Roam, that you actually can put in your backpack and take with you, and it's got batteries that really don't weigh that much. I know the guys in Withlacoochee State Forest this Friday are going to have one, and they'll be able to stream from anywhere. And I think Wojo and Richie B and whoever else they're going to have with them, they're going to have a Starlink as well. So I'm anxious to see how it does. Yeah, dude. Yeah, they're a little expensive, but that initial cost, and then I think it's like $100 subscription a month or something. So, but yeah, I definitely, if you want to join us on the next one, man, I'm looking for people. So.
Yeah, I'll be in touch and we'll figure something out.
Right on, buddy. We'll plug your channel one more time.
All right, it's Deep Woods Protocol. If you search that up, you'll see I've posted 3 videos so far. It's been a couple weeks, but I'm out in the woods and I'm trying to do the research the best I can, guys.
Hell yeah. Well, brother, thank you for the call, man, and good luck tonight.
Thank you, Stacey. All right, be safe, y'all.
All right, buddy. Bye. All right. Deep Woods Protocol, people. Y'all go check him out on YouTube. He's got some good stuff, man. Saying I'm muted. There's no way I'm muted. I can't be muted. Am I muted now? Gotta ask the chat. Oh, never mind. It's working. Yeah, that sounds like operator error on your point, Tyler 420. I wonder why you would have operator error, Tyler 420. That's why I always have technical difficulties, people. Because I'll get my stuff together, and then I'll hit that pin, and then I'll come in here, and bam, So, all right. Well, the phone lines are open. 850-695-0522. And so I got people in the chat saying that this right here is not a gray horned owl. It could be. It very well could be. But if I seen that in the woods, I don't know, brother. I don't know, brother. That might freak me out a little bit. It might freak me out. Yeah. So here comes technical difficulties in 3, 2, 1. Yeah, there we go. The program. Let's see. The lines are open. 850-695-0522. If you want to call in, you got a ghost story, you saw a UFO, Bigfoot story, whatever you want to talk about. Now, I'm not going to hopefully step on toes by saying anything about this, but I'm working on a story right now. About the Mount St. Helens eruption and the Bigfoot bodies that were found afterwards. Have you people heard about this? I had heard rumors, and I had always displaced them. I was like, come on now. Come on now, people. But digging into all the information that is available and there, I honestly believe that this probably happened. Now, there's no way of proving it. And that's what you come into with these stories. is how can you prove any of that? You can't. But you can take people's word for it. You know, you can listen to all the other stuff and kind of discern for yourself what you kind of want, what you kind of want to figure out. And if I'm discerning from my own opinion, then I have to believe that that incident probably happened. So what it is, in case for you people that don't know, is that the mountain erupted in like 1988, okay? And now this is the same mountain that Fred Beck and the other guys got attacked, the Siege of Ape Canyon. One of the, more famous stories, I think from 1924, really before any of this kind of Bigfoot craze came about. But there were kind of exclusion zones where people couldn't go, and people got hired to work, and they collected animals. And they said some of the animals were Sasquatch. And somebody said they saw a helicopter flying low, a Chinook, that was carrying what appeared to be a Sasquatch in a basket. And it brings me back to the Bradwell Bay fires of 1997 here in Wakulla County, Florida, in the Apalachicola National Forest. I interviewed a guy, and it's on the channel. It's an interview with a retired forest ranger. And this guy, they were driving around collecting animals, seeing what they could save, collecting the dead, things like that, much like they were in Mount St. Helens. And as he turned a corner, he ran over one of these creatures. And it wasn't long after that men in black suits showed up and told him he hit a bear. Now, he said once he passes away, I can share his name and all that. But at this point, I think this guy's going to outlive me, people. Like, I'm serious. I'm not waiting on him to kick the can. I don't want it to sound like that, but this guy's in very good shape. And I'm thinking he might have another 20 years left. I don't know that I got another 20. But there's a lot of similarities, and that's what I wanted to bring up, the Mount St. Helens thing. Is that fires do displace these creatures. Mount St. Helens wasn't really a fire. It was more of an eruption. I think the side of the mountain blew out, killing stuff instantly. And whether Sasquatch is paranormal or biological, it doesn't matter at that point. You ain't got time to go nowhere. You don't know that you're going anywhere. And people say, well, the animals knew it was about to erupt and they left. No, not all of them. Maybe you can't get that far. You're talking about 2.5 miles or something like that blew out, or 200 miles. I can't remember. I'm butchering that. And where are you going to go? Where are you going to go? So I believe these things can happen. And this just falls back on my whole thinking that the government knows about these creatures, and they may not be actively covering it up, but I believe they're actively not telling us what the hell they know. And it's kind of disappointing. So I'm going to bring up another topic, something a lot of people have hit me up about here lately. So, I don't know if y'all have heard the news, but meet the man who says he discovered Bigfoot. Have y'all heard about Snake yet? Have y'all heard about the guy who found Bigfoot in the Adirondacks in New York? What do y'all think? Just give me a heads up. Just type something in the chat. What do y'all think is going on? Zuli, there is fires there now. There wasn't at the time. But this guy, Snake, he believes, or he claims, that he found a Sasquatch body in the woods, the Adirondacks, New York. Bigfoot remains is his social media and all that. Now, this guy, I know all of y'all are just now hearing about this. Okay? But the fires Wojo are about Tamagami. But Snake claims while out hiking that he stumbled across this body and he's now loaded it up and touring the country with it. He's been at this since like December or January, because that is where that's where I kind of found out about him at first. And he was doing interviews in like Japan and overseas news and stuff like that. And then recently, I think he got on News Nation. But he's had a whole DNA study done on this thing. And I have spoken with the man over the phone. I think the last time we talked was back in February. And I want him on the show. And he wants to be on the show. I want to talk to him. Okay. Because this is a big claim, and I know most of you people are saying fake, and I'm not sitting here disagreeing with you, but I have my questions. And he does want to come on the show, but he doesn't want to do a Zoom. He doesn't want to do like we just did here tonight. Which is fine. He loves the show. He is a fan of this show. He's congratulated me on my success and all that stuff and the growth of the channel and all that. He's a very nice guy. I enjoy my conversations with him. He's just another dude. But he's a dude claiming that he's got... He's claiming he's got a Bigfoot body. And he's promised to let me see it. So I'm not doing this for clicks. But if he lets me see it, one of two things is going to happen. I'm going to come to you people and tell you that it's real, or I'm not going to say nothing because he paid me a whole lot of money to not say anything. Now, I think this is kind of like a P.T. Barnum type thing, something for kids to come in, like the Minnesota Iceman. It's no different, although people think the Minnesota Iceman was real, and it may have been real. I don't know. But this is the same thing, people. This is actually the same thing as the other guy out there right now who has a fake DNA study. And he's also got a movie out and a book, right? I'm going to tell y'all right now, and this is why I brought this up, there are no real DNA studies with Bigfoot going on. You have Darby. Darby ain't doing a DNA study. He's looking at hair under a microscope, and he's looking at it. He's looking for the absence of a medulla. And I talked to Cliff about this. And I'm going to ask him when I have him on the show, because I'm going to go out to Cliff's house. I'm going to go to his space with him, Bigfoot with him, And then I'm going to have an interview with him as well. Kind of like what I did with Les. But, you know, it doesn't... How do you get that there's no medulla in a Bigfoot hair if we've never had a Bigfoot hair? Why are you only looking for samples that lack a medulla? Where do you get that information from? Like, what? What? It makes no sense to me why you would start there. If I was doing a hair study, I would look at the person, the chain of custody, and the corroborating evidence that goes with it. Like, hey, there were tracks nearby, or we had a video. We got this audio, and then we found this hair. In case y'all are confused about it, the forest is littered with hair everywhere. Everywhere. Just walk into the woods right now. Go. Get off the podcast. Walk out in the woods. Get on your knees and look on the ground. You'll find hair. I promise you will. And then move to another spot and do the same thing. It's everywhere in the woods. But to start your DNA study off with, oh, we're looking for hair that doesn't have a medulla. Where do you get that information? Why are we starting there? Makes no sense to me. And then obviously you've got Snake's DNA study here that's saying half Neanderthal, half human. What DNA study, bro? Like, what labs? Come forward with the labs. And then, you know, you have the Melba thing. And believe her at your own, you know, at your own risk, people. She couldn't get her paper published back in the day because all the scientists that looked at it, Todd Disotell being one of them, called her out for trying to make DNA, trying to merge a bunch of stuff together, like that they can't put. This is another thing about, oh, it was contaminated. That's not true. They can put it in the machine. I've seen the machine. I've seen the samples run through it, and it will separate the DNA. So if you got a hair from a raccoon and you breathe on it, oh, it's human contamination. No. There's human DNA in there. We can see, hey, this man breathed on it. And there's also a raccoon hair. That was rubbed in dog poop. Oh, so now we got canine in there as well. They could tell exactly all the DNA that's in there. The Bigfoot community's thoughts about how DNA work are so wrong. And they continually get snatched into these DNA studies. Hey, give us some money. Give us some money. We've got a DNA study going on, and it's angel DNA. No, it ain't. If it was, you wouldn't have had to buy your own journal, which you did. Melba bought her own journal. That's how her paper got published. She had to buy her own and then make up something about the scientific community won't look at it. Let me tell you something. I am friends with one of the top molecular geneticists in the country, if not the world. If you bring him DNA that he is allowed to sequence, that means he gets to come up with a Latin name for it, bro. That means he gets to take the credit for it, bro. He is the first person to sequence Sasquatch. He may not believe in it. Just the exact thing he's told me. I may not believe it, but Stacy, in the off chance that you actually do bring me Bigfoot evidence, I'll be the one who gets to do it. There's not a scientist out there that doesn't want the opportunity to be the one to bring something brand new to the world. So to sit here and say, oh, it was so groundbreaking that the scientific community just wouldn't take it. I had to buy my own journal. It's bullshit. Ask Derek Randalls about it. Ask Derek Randalls about how much money him and Wally gave to Melba Ketchum that she took. Y'all go ahead. Ask Eli Watson about it. He's about to drop a video on all of it. There are no DNA studies. I don't care who's pushing it. They're pushing it on Joe Rogan or the Y-Files or anything else. Doesn't make it any more real. It doesn't make them any more different than this man right here. Here's the thing about this man. None of y'all believe that. None of you believe it. Okay? And so if none of you believe it, what's he hurting? It's not hurting nothing. He's going around having a good time. I've seen the people that come in and look at the body. They're all having a blast. They're all loving it. I think it's all satire. And that's what I want to ask him. Is it all satire? Because if it is, I'm fine with it, brother. Go have your fun. It's no different than Expedition Bigfoot. They found chimpanzee DNA in Kentucky. Yeah, motherfucker, because you dropped it there. That's why you found it. There ain't no chimpanzees in Kentucky. Why are there no chimpanzees in Kentucky, Stacy? Why is that? Because they don't have a hooded nose. It gets cold as shit in Kentucky. And it would only take one winter to wipe out every chimpanzee that lived there without living in some type of enclosure that will keep them alive. There's a reason we have these flaps on our nose. Chimpanzees don't have them, and chimpanzees will not thrive there. So if you found chimpanzee DNA in Kentucky, you therefore planted it. Was the only reason that you found it in the woods. We got to think some things are for entertainment. You know, some things are for entertainment, and that is fine. But when you sit up there and you are obviously lying through your teeth, trying to point people in a certain direction, we've got it all proven. They just won't take us serious. No, you don't. You fucking don't. If you had it, brother, it would be posted. You may get the government actually come in and shut you down and you never talk again. They scare you so bad that you don't get online and you don't share with the world what you have. But there ain't no scientists in this country. I don't give a damn. That'd be like saying, hey, I got the cure for cancer. And they don't want to look at it. Oh, yeah, right. Yeah, right. Ivermectin cures cancer. Yeah, right. We're not even going to hear this. They'd hear it. Because it'd be the biggest discovery of any of our small, minute lives. What is it going to take, William, U.S. Marine Corps? Wants to know what's it going to take to prove Bigfoot is real. In my opinion, you're going to have to get the government to admit to it. That's it. The end of the day. Because they already know. Outside of having a body, okay? If you go and shoot one, bud, if you go and kill one tonight, we got our proof. Bam. Got the proof. We can cut the body up. We can send it to different labs around the country. Give it to different people. So if the government, the powers that be, try to confiscate it and they come and they take your leg or whatever you have, that's cool. Because that thing had 10 toes on it and you done sent it to 10 different people that live around the country in 10 different locations. And one of them will pop up with a toe and get it tested. That's how that would happen. We need a body. We would need a body. Or you would need a photo with DNA proof. So maybe you startled the Sasquatch while you had your GoPro. You were walking the trail. You turned a corner. It was a Sasquatch. You scared him. He pooped. You got the photo and you got the poop. That might do it. Might not, but it should. It should. But I think the easiest route that us as the public can go is to get disclosure. That 100%, I believe, is exactly the way to go, is to get the government to somehow admit to it. Will they ever do that? I don't know. I hold out hope. But all these DNA studies and stuff, these ain't the first one that's been done. And they all make grandiose claims. And then you never hear from them again. Or sometimes, like in the case of Melba Ketchum, you do hear from them again. They wait a few years, wait for the noise to die down, attach themselves to somebody else, and bam, we're back in your face with another DNA study that, hey, by the way, we needed to crowdfund to raise some money for that. Yes, sir. We're not going to use our own money. How are we going to get rich like that? We're going to make money if we use our own money. I don't know, good sir. I don't know. We have to quit buying into this stuff, people. We have to quit defending people. We have to call a spade when we see it. But we also have to keep the belief and the faith alive. Because even if we're just sitting here telling stories, the younger generation is going to carry the torch when my 20 years is up. The younger generation will carry the torch into the next generation, and it has to continue. Because if people stop talking about it, see, that's another thing. Like, why haven't we outgrown Bigfoot yet? If Bigfoot was just a myth and some bullshit, how come we haven't outgrown it yet? How come this is still a thing? Surely the Loch Ness Monster isn't as big as Bigfoot right now. People aren't claiming to continue to see that. But we continue to see Bigfoot. Is it something in the human psyche? Probably not. Bigfoot's been seen for the longest amount of time. And you know, statistically, can't everybody be telling the truth? But at the same time, can't everybody be lying? And if they're not all lying, if you got 100 people and one of them is telling the truth and there's something to it, where there's smoke, there's fire, brother. And we have to continue it, because eventually either people are going to quit or this thing's going to get proven. And I know as long as I'm here, I will not quit. Will my kids carry on the torch? Probably not. My son's had an encounter. He doesn't want nothing to do with it. We were on the back porch, me, my father, and my son. And we heard mumbling. Sounded, I don't want to say Sierra sounds, but it just sounded coming from the woods. We could see where it was coming from. You couldn't see it. It was so thick, but it was just right there, right? Wasn't far from the house. It almost sounded like an older one trying to get two little ones to be quiet. And so my dad's like, yo, I'm going to go look at it. I'm going to go see what it is. I'm going to walk to that sound. And then that sound stopped right before he entered the woods. But as he got closer to where that sound originated from, there was a loud, sharp whistle. A loud, sharp whistle. And that's when my son said, Papa, please come back. And my dad turned around and my son was crying, and we went in the house and he watched SpongeBob till he fell asleep. But that was one of his Bigfoot encounters. And he just has no interest in continuing that. He's a mechanic. He likes doing those kind of things. He likes doing the UFC. He likes doing all that, you know. But yes, that is how his encounter went. And I think that's how most people are. Hopefully there's some people in the next generation that continue to carry this torch, because it's what we need. We can't let the snakes, or any of that stuff get us down and make us look bad in the public eye. Because we do a good job of that ourselves. I'm sure y'all have seen the channel Hairy Man Chode, Load, whatever his hairy man is. But when that guy seen the new Patty film and come out and was talking about, oh, I've seen it. It's over. It's over. That was a suit. That was a suit. I bought into it. Talk is cheap, but I bought into it. And I defended him. But then, not long ago, the man made a video and started talking lies about me, things that I know are lies. And so, therefore, it's like, you lied about that. You fucking probably lied about it all. Okay, we got another call. Let's see what's up. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hey, is this Stacy?
Yeah.
Hey, good talking to you. I just got turned on to your channel in the last month or two, and I'm really enjoying the information. I love the fact that you got up to Canada with Les and the whole gang from Cabin in the Woods and whatnot, and just really been enjoying your show.
I appreciate it, buddy.
So good props. I'm here in Orlando myself.
Right on.
But love to get up there to Quincy if, one of these days.
Absolutely, brother.
I got a question for you. I'd like your opinion on something, if possible.
Okay.
I've always been into the legend of Sasquatch. I've never had an encounter myself personally, but I've always enjoyed and always believed in them as being legitimate entities. And just this afternoon, I was watching a video from 2 days ago on YouTube. I'm not sure if you watch any of the other Bigfoot type shows on YouTube, but there was one that was on recently, Bigfoot Encounters. The title of from 2 days ago is New Bigfoot Footage So Clear It'll Make You Believe. All right. And it says like 5 or 6 different encounter stories. But what's concerning me about the episode itself, the encounters were talking about Bigfoots attacking, killing, and eating of people. Videos captured on different wood cameras in the woods. A hunter, a poacher came into the area and disrupted an area of bones that a Bigfoot had placed specifically in areas. And the first story was how the Bigfoot used a bone to skin and disembowel and kill somebody. The second story was 3 snow patrol people checking an area in a blizzard for avalanches that were stalked and chased down, and all 3 killed by Sasquatch. I have never heard of any stories of that where humans were intentionally hunted down and killed by a Bigfoot. I'm sure potentially violent ones, angry ones could happen. Watched your recent episode with O'Neill and his girlfriend having the psychic telepathic conversations, and how they're people and not beasts and animals. What is your opinion on these types of stories where humans were being attacked and killed by Bigfoot? Is that something that you've heard of? Have you had a chance maybe to see this particular video yourself, this particular episode?
I haven't.
What is your opinion on this?
I haven't seen the video. Okay. But as for the Sasquatch killing people, if we look back at indigenous history around the world, there's talks of them being cannibals. There's talks of them taking the children and the women and eating them, with the women mainly making them their, the brides or whatever, having babies with them and stuff. This Friday night, my episode that's airing, the first interview on that, there's like 3 or 4 interviews throughout the episode, but the first interview is a guy named James Hopkins, and he was in Mayaca, Florida. He was about 13 or something like that, and him and his buddies went camping they took the 3-wheeler out, and I guess whatever them being there really upset this creature, and this creature started throwing stuff, screaming at them, and chased them. Like, they drove off on the 4-wheeler, and this thing chased them for over a mile and was keeping up. And so they were able to kind of get ahead of it, and they ditched off into this girl that lived nearby. Her bedroom was outside over the garage, right? There was like a garage, and then the second story was her bedroom. So they quickly went in there. She let them in, all that. And then the damn thing came up the steps and was trying to get in there after them. And you have to hear this story. It's one of my top 3 Bigfoot encounters I've ever heard. Now,
I look forward to Friday.
Yeah. Could they kill people? And have they killed people before? I think it does happen. A lot of these, you have like the missing 411 books, and they kind of make it out like maybe Bigfoot is doing something to these people, but I think a lot of these people didn't have no business in the woods to begin with, in the elements, maybe getting lost, something of that nature. Probably because I've got a couple of the books, and as I read it, I'm just thinking, I don't know how y'all are making the connection with Bigfoot on these things. But could they kill you if they want to? And have they done it before? I would assume it's kind of like if you got in between a mama bear and her cubs. If you were in that right situation, maybe it's hungry. Maybe it's territorial. Maybe it's had a super bad day. Maybe it's just super violent on top of that. And, it will take you out. I think if you're in the right place and you didn't tell nobody you were going there, I think putting yourself in that situation, and that may be why our government, let me back up. I believe our government is actively tracking them down and taking them out. From the people I've talked to, I have no proof of this, of course. Okay, so let me preface with that. It's just a theory of mine. But I believe that these creatures are being hunted down by some faction in our government, and they're taking them out, and that may be the reason. Maybe they can't be around people.
Distrust of humans. You definitely can't blame them for that.
Right.
I can definitely see that.
Yeah, because how many times are these things getting shot at?
Yeah. And again, I watched so many of these different types of documentaries and videos, and one of the conversations was the fact that the government doesn't want to announce that the Bigfoot exists and to have them put on an endangered species list, because if the government admits that Bigfoot is real, Sasquatch is real, that they're endangered, that it might entice people to go out to hunt them more.
Yeah, and I get that. I understand where people saying that, but if they came out that they were real, let's just take, for instance, manatees. Okay? We know manatees are real. The Indians almost killed all of them, right? The Indians were, Native Americans were eating them left and right, because look how much meat's on one. But, they're real. There's rules, though. You can't do, they become protected. So, sure, I can go right now and harvest a manatee if I want to, but I'm gonna go my ass to prison. And having to having to shower with dudes all the time keeps me doing the right thing, brother.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know, so I don't know that if they admitted that people would all of a sudden start going hunting, because I believe if they did admit, there would be some type of protection that followed. The thing that I think it is that if they admitted they were real, then that means you know exactly what they are. And I believe they're a type of people, whether that be Neanderthal or Denisovan or whatever. You know what I mean? Some other offshoot of Homo sapien. And if that's the case, then they have human rights.
Yeah.
And
I can agree. I can agree. So let me ask you, where do you stand on the scale of them being more on the great ape side of things? My view is that they're the North American great ape. And of course, they're located all across the globe: Australia, China, India, all over the world. Or do you feel that they are more of a humanoid creature? Where do you stand? What is your opinion on the scale? Where do you weigh?
The one I saw, we're primates, right?
Mm-hmm.
So they say.
Homo sapien sapien.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but are they, I guess what you're saying is, are they more like gorilla or chimpanzee? Or are they more like human? And I would go for, based off of what I saw, I would go that they were more human.
More human.
It looked like a monster. I say that, but at the same time, it looked like a damn monster.
Especially at night in the woods.
Of course, you know what I mean? It would be cool to look at one in a controlled setting where I was safe, and they may be an ape. The only thing I know, honestly, is that they're real. And what they are, I can't tell you. I know the whole, like I was saying earlier with Jason, the primate part of it only proves about 40% of the stuff that's going on. It only explains about 40% of it. There's a whole other 60% that's like weird, because people have reported Bigfoots with UFO. There was a sighting in, I want to say it was West Virginia, and there were like 20 people that saw this UFO. They were at a little gathering, and this UFO hovered there, and then 2 Bigfoots were walking by, whether they were attracted or whether they had something to do with that. But that was a real thing that happened, and there were deputies that saw that. That wasn't just a bunch of drunks out there, there was legit reports and stuff like that done. So what they are, we may never know, brother, but we're going to keep looking and trying to figure it out, because what the hell else we going to do?
All right. When I was younger, I always thought that Bigfoot was actually aliens in monkey suits. It's big-eyed aliens.
You got a little gray in there with like a joystick, and he's controlling it, and like
exactly.
The whole game is just to cross the road, and it's like Frogger. You got to cross the road before the car hits you, and that's why all the sightings are just road crossings.
Why'd the Bigfoot cross the road? He was chasing the chicken.
Right. Well, brother, hey, if you ever get up this way, man, and you want to go Bigfooting, shoot me an email, brother.
I certainly will. Great talking to you, and keep up the good work.
Yes, sir. Thank you for calling in, buddy. I appreciate it.
All righty. You take care of yourself.
You too. Bye-bye. All right. Somebody else called in during that. And I'm going to cut the lines back on. So the caller from LJ, Georgia, you can call back in now. Hopefully you're caught up on the show. Oh, big cat turds. Oh, here we go. The car door noise in the woods. Yes, very strange. You're on the Bigfoot Underground.
Hello?
Hey.
Are you? Hey, I'm calling from Georgia.
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
I'm doing good.
What can I
I'm a
do
little
for you?
confused, though. Are you still live?
Yes, ma'am, I am.
Oh, okay, cool.
What can I do for you?
Oh, okay, we're on. Hold on, I'm getting weird feedback here. So are we live?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Hey, so I had a comment about Papa Squatch's thermal video. You were talking about the eyeballs.
Yes, ma'am. Let me bring that picture up so
And
people
couldn't
can
really.
look at it. What did you think about it?
I thought it was cool. I have a similar thermal from East Texas from a couple of years ago where the eyeballs did the same thing. And so what I wanted to kind of add to that discussion was just that when you're thermaling and something's face has got hair hanging down over it, that hair will knock the facial heat signature out. It will dampen it, but the eyes aren't covered.
Right.
So when I was in East Texas watching one and watching its eyeball, it was, I'm trying to estimate distance. It might have been maybe 100 feet out in the woods from where we were standing on an old logging road.
Right.
We were so close to that thing's eyeball that you could see the blood swirling in the eyes in the heat signature.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, it sounded like y'all were confused as to why the eyeballs were so much brighter than the rest of the creature.
I was absolutely
Is that
confused.
What the question was?
Yeah, that kind of.
Huh?
Yeah, that kind of threw me off because, I mean, obviously you can see the eyeballs there, but I had no...
Yeah.
Because you would think, okay, like with the one I saw, it had hair on its face, but it didn't have hair all over its face.
Right.
And the forehead was...
Some do and some don't.
Clear of hair. You know, the cheeks were clear of hair. So you would think you would see a whole a face shape in there instead of just two eyes, but the eyes are sunken in, right?
Yeah. And I just think you're getting a direct hit on hot blood flow in the eyeballs is why you're seeing. Now I can see your picture. Yeah. When that thermal hits those eyeballs, that's your hottest spot.
Right.
You know, the rest could be at an angle. It could have its head tilted up. It could be behind something. But you're going to see those eyeballs in thermal if it's looking straight at you. That's my experience anyway.
Well, I would absolutely love to see those photos that you have, if you still have them.
I'll get a hold of you. Yeah, I'll get them to you. They're crazy. It was, I'd just gotten this thermal camera, and I was just learning how to use it. And we were out walking down this logging road. It was probably a mile down it from the pavement, Sam Houston, with a group of people, maybe 10 of us, and kept hanging at the back and just kind of looking behind us, and just heard one little twig snap out in the woods and just turned it over there. But the problem was I hadn't learned about putting my thermal on a tripod. So, and now when I hike in the woods and I carry a thermal, I've got it on a tripod, and the tripod's always fully extended. Because what happened to me that night is when I saw that thing's eyeballs out there, I watched this for like 15 minutes. I started shaking so bad, literally physically shaking. It freaked me out so bad that it was just a body reaction, you know. So it's a video. And the thing just sits there, and it'll peek up and down over a horizontal fallen log out in the woods. And all you can see on this thing is the two eyeballs and the very tip of its nose. Those are the only hot spots.
Right.
So I think that the rest of its face was had hair. Maybe it had long hair that had fallen over its face. I don't know. You know, I never saw it in the daylight, so
right.
I don't know. But thermal's tricky. I mean, you got to use a thermal a lot to feel good about it. But I don't think that's
absolutely.
a great horned owl sitting there. I don't think that old boy needs to go over there by himself to that side of that lake either.
Well, he's not the brightest bulb, but
tool in the shed.
yeah,
Sharpest tool in the shed.
But hell, if he wants to go over there, who am I to stop him? Go over there, buddy. We'll
Man, I'm in Central Texas, and you actually hooked Matt Langford and I up. Matt and I have gotten together now.
Oh, did y'all finally get together? I do remember talking to you now.
Times.
Nice.
Yeah, Matt's got a good spot.
He's a good guy.
Yeah, he is a great guy. I enjoy his enthusiasm.
Oh yeah, I just wish I could be that enthusiastic about anything these days.
Yeah, all the time, right? But yeah, I'd love to check that spot out where he's going back to in Florida. I'd almost get on a plane and fly down there to go out there with him.
Well, if you ever want to go to Florida, you hit me up. You and y'all come on.
Matt, yeah, I got to get Matt on an airplane. I don't know if he's ever been on one, but we'll sedate him and bring him.
Yeah, give him some Xanax. He'll pass out.
knock him out and bring him. But maybe when it's cooler weather, we'll get down there. He's big with the Squatching Florida guys, Mike Aguilar and his bunch. I think that's the name of them. I don't know.
That's him. Yeah.
But, yeah. So he definitely wants to come down. But I said, Matt, you don't know what mosquitoes are like in Florida in the middle of summer, man. I said, you don't want to be anywhere near that place.
No, he was wanting to go out. He was talking about coming down to the conference, which was last month. And he was wanting me to take him to the film site where my dad got his thermal. And I'll take you. But I mean, it gets hot in Texas, but it's a different heat.
Oh, it's hell in Florida. I lived in Everglades City and worked for Outward Bound down there for a while. And we were there in November. We were there from November to March. And, man, no way.
Yeah.
It's not coming anywhere near Florida in July and August, man.
Yeah, my wife can't do it, and I stay out in the yard. I was outside from like 4 to 6:45 tonight. And she's like, I don't know how you can do it, but I don't know. I was raised outside, it was like, get your ass out. And when the street light comes on, you can come in the house.
Right. You didn't have much choice. You just got used to it. But yeah, Texas gets hot, but it's not muggy hot. Like you can cut it with a knife hot like you guys get. But anyway,
so what? Hold on,
right out here.
While I got you on the phone, have you seen a Bigfoot?
Not in the daylight. I haven't.
Not in the daylight.
I've seen some thermal images out here of them. I've got a photograph of a young one that popped up right in front of his mama one day in the middle of the day, and I actually didn't see him with the naked eye, though. I didn't see him until after I'd looked at the photos, and it's pretty clear. It's a pretty good picture. But I moved out here about 5 years ago from North Georgia. So I'm from the North Georgia mountains, LJ. And then I moved out here after my husband passed away to go to work for a hospital out here in Central Texas. And so I'd always been raised in the mountains, and looking back on it, had some experiences there, but didn't know what they were. Bigfoot Sasquatch never even crossed my mind,
Right.
And looking back now, it could have been what it was. I don't know. I actually sold it. I sold the house I was living in because I got scared out of it. And that's a story. It's kind of a story, but some weird stuff happened around the perimeter of that cabin where I was living. I was way up I was 20 miles outside of LJ when this happened. And so, I've lived in the Everglades. I've lived in North Georgia mountains. I went to college in Montana. I've lived in all these hot spots.
Mm-hmm.
And did not know, Bigfoot never even crossed my mind.
Right.
Sasquatch wasn't even in my vocabulary. until I get to Central Texas, of all places. Of all the places I've lived in hot spots, I moved to Central Texas. And I moved out here with my best friend to go to work. So we go to work and we've rented a condo, in town, condo. And I'm out here for about, about 6 or 7 months. And I tell my friends, I got to go find some woods to get out in, man. I can't stay in a house like this all the time. Had to get out, had to find some dirt to get out on.
Right.
Well, Texas is all private land for the most part. There's very little public space here. It's very different than North Georgia. I mean, I was living on the edge of the Chattahoochee National Forest up there, Anyway, so I look at Google Earth and I find a place I can get out on. I drive up there, park the car. All I had with me was at the time, was a 38 Special, so I strapped that on, a little pea shooter. And I go heading out, walking around the edge of this lake. Well, I'm walking around the edge of this lake where the mud is, and I get up to the swampy end of the lake where the creek runs in to fill the lake up. And I don't even know what a wild hog is at this point, right? I don't know I'm in a dangerous place. I guess I'm just trucking around, and I look down in the mud, and I see these footprints, and they're human-looking footprints. And there's big ones, and there's medium ones, and there's small ones. And believe me when I tell you, ain't nobody putting their kid in this water where I'm at. It's about 4 inches deep, just swamp water,
Right.
Ain't nobody swimming in that mess. And I got to looking at that, and I thought, man, this ain't right. Something's not right here. What is this? And then I could see the big tracks. The water was clear enough and shallow enough that I could see the big footprints walking out into the lake. And that was like 2022, I think. I think it was the winter, like early 2022, like maybe January or something. Anyway, I took pictures of all the prints because they were so unusual. And then I came back home and I started thinking about that. And then I started digging. And then I started reading everything I could get my hands on. So kept going back out there, found some other places to go kind of near there where nobody goes. There's no human trails. Nobody goes in this place. And I had all kinds of crazy shit happen.
Right.
Crazy audio. Started putting out peanut butter and apples, and I would hang a recorder. I'd strap a recorder to the tree beneath the apples and the peanut butter. Got a whole bunch of audio out there, just all kinds of sounds at that recorder, mouth pops. Something would walk up and just start clucking at the thing, tapping on the recorder. You could hear something tap, tap, tap. I mean, I've got all this on audio somewhere. I'd have to dig it up. But anyway, that started it all. So then I got to looking, and I found the BFRO. So I didn't know anybody out here. And I started reading accounts of East Texas, And so I hooked up with them and went over to the SAM Houston and met some really, Sibylla Urban was on that trip with us. Met Sibylla, Mark Copeland, Mike Janankes, those guys were on that trip. Just an excellent group of people. Some heavy hitters that really knew what they were doing, as far as anybody can know what they're doing.
Right.
And, had a ball. Let's see. Anyway, that was like 4 years ago now. And I've kept notes on every day I've ever been out in the woods, out there. And now going down to Matt's area, which is, it's a bit of a drive down there. It's not too bad as far as Texas goes. It's about an hour and a half from me, which is nothing in Texas.
Oh, yeah.
Under 4 hours, you're doing good, And so that's been fun. And he just sent me some stuff today. His game camera captured some wild wild photos down there, so we'll probably be back in the woods. But I got to get him out to thermal. I don't think he's ever been out thermaling at night.
Really?
Which is wild, yeah. He owns no equipment. I'm like, Matt, how are you going to document anything if you don't own any equipment, man? You got to at least get a recorder, you know?
Right.
So anyway, we got to get him going at night, and I'm not sure he'll go out with me at night or not. We're going to try.
Oh, you can get him out. I'll tease him.
Yeah, you'll have to twist his arm. But I just bought a rooftop thermal made by Infrared about, I guess I've had it about 2 months now, or maybe 3. I don't know. It seems like I hadn't had it very long. And, man, talk about sweet.
I bet.
You can sit in the car and control this thing. And before, well, you don't know any of this, but before I've had a handheld thermal for a couple of years, and I would go out. At the time I had a pickup truck, so I would drive out to this dry lake bed with just a little bit of water coming through it, and I would pull the cab of the truck up into the weeds. It was an old truck, so I didn't care if I scratched it. And I'd hide the nose up in the bushes, and I'd climb up in the bed of the truck and set the handheld thermal on a tripod. And I'd sit out there for hours and just watch the zoo, because when the sun goes down out here, the zoo comes out, and it's insane at the wildlife that comes around water out here, you know. Hogs, bobcats, deer, small critters, coyotes. Just, it's like the dang Serengeti, you know.
Right.
At night. When the sun sets, 2 hours after sunset, and then I work 40 hours a week, so I got to be up at 8, you know, I got to be at work at 8 o'clock the next morning. I can't stay out all night. But so I was going out. I go out by myself and sit in the bed of this truck and thermal. Well, March the 23rd of 2023, I had set a game camera up out there about 50 yards from where I usually parked in thermals. I was walking around out there one day in the daylight and saw this super highway of a game trail coming across this dry lake bed. And I thought, I'll set a game camera right here. And it was one of those that's a cellular game camera, so it'd send you photos. So that night in March 2023 at 11:33 p.m., this photo came in from that camera. And it scared the holy crap out of me. And I didn't go back out there for a year.
Wow.
Stacy, it freaked me out so bad because it was so close to where I've been sitting in the pitch dark in the bed of my pickup truck by myself, thermaling. I mean, it was close, man. It was like 50 feet away from where the truck is always parked. And I've got this image, and it's a nighttime game camera image, okay? So it's pointing out across the dry lake bed, and there's 2 sets of eyes. Now, it's about 300 yards across this dry lake bed, so there's no trees back there. Nothing for a coon to get up in. And I've got this image, and whatever is in the image is at the far extent of the flash, of the IR flash reach of the game camera. It's right on the edge of it.
Right.
And it's 2 sets of eyes walking towards the game camera. Well, without any scale, 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 it's hard to tell how big that would be. But the night before, I'd gotten a picture of a buck deer right in front of that same game camera. So I was able to take a scrap piece of paper and mark where that buck deer's shoulders were and where his feet were. And I said it's 3 feet from the ground to his shoulders. And then I took that piece of paper and scaled the 2 sets of eyes behind it. Well, the set of eyes in the back was at about 7.5 feet, and the set of the eyes in the front of the one was about 5.5 feet. Well, I didn't go back out there for a year. And not only that, there's a dang round blob of what looks like a round blob of fog right next to him in this photo. And, you know, I don't ever, when I show somebody the picture, I don't say, man, what do you think that round blob of fog is right there? But they always tell me what they think it is. Because it's,
and what do they say?
Pretty crazy. It looks like a damn portal.
Does it really? Wow.
Yeah. And it's big. It's like, oh, let's see. I guess if I'm looking at the picture in my mind, it's about as tall as they are and round. So, you know, 8 feet round.
Wow.
And it's obviously there. I mean, it looks like it's there. You know, it's a nighttime IR flash, and you know that can do weird stuff. But the eyes, one weird thing about the eyeballs is they're not round baseballs like your friend had on there tonight.
Right.
You know, and the ones I saw in the Sam Houston looked like round baseballs too. Maybe not quite as big as a baseball, but just smaller than a baseball. So the eyes in this game camera photo are almond shaped, very distinctly almond shaped. They're big and they're far apart. You know,
right.
Proportionally, they're far apart. And that's the thing you can look at too on the image that Papa Squatch had there. If he'll measure the distance between those eyes, that will give him there's a way to calculate the size of the head based on the distance between the eyes.
Yeah, I would love to see a recreation of this photo.
Yeah, I would too.
Because it's really good when you know, and I get why some people more skeptical people could say it's an owl, but that's got to be a big ass owl.
Well, you know, if that owl's body size beneath those eyeballs turns out to be 6 feet sitting down or 5 feet sitting down, you know, you do need a recreation. You need him in thermal across from the same vantage point to compare the size of what I saw as being body size there.
Right.
You know, and of course, there's always going to be skeptics. And I know, you know, it's easy to see things you want to see. We all have that battle, and that's why video is great. And a moving image is always going to be better, you know.
Yep, but, you know, and if you keep trying,
there's been so much.
If you keep trying, eventually you're going to come across something like that.
Yeah. And then you got the luck of the beginners, you know, beginner's luck.
And that's a very real thing. Like you have no idea.
Yeah. Well, you hear it all the time. And that guy you had on from West Virginia the other day.
Yeah.
Dang, that thermal that guy had was crazy. That's some of the best thermal I've ever seen right there.
Yeah, I'm hoping to go to his place later this year or either like early spring next year.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. Sounds like he's got it going on. I mean, they're everywhere. I'm in Central Texas.
Oh, yeah.
You know, I didn't expect this.
Yeah, nobody has to go far.
But out here, it's easier I think it's easier for us because we have less water everywhere.
Amen.
And like I said, when the sun goes down, it's the Serengeti, man. It's, you know, I can send you thermal. I'll send you a thermal that's just hogs, deer, coats, all in one thermal image. It's like the zoo.
Right.
But, you know, it's insane. But it's a fascinating subject, and I'm going to say this, and I won't keep you on here all night, but, and you know, everybody's got their own beliefs about this, and if you're in this for any length of time, you're going to have more questions than answers, or that's the point I've come to.
Right.
Know? But here's what I think, and opinions are like, you know, everybody's got one, but we haven't gotten anywhere in 60 years. Not much. We haven't gotten far. So what that tells me is we got to change the way we think about things. And the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over and expecting different results. That ain't working for us.
You preaching to the choir right now.
Technology's going to improve, but I've seen and heard things. Stacy, I've been laughed at. And I don't mean a human laugh. I mean a laugh from 250 yards away. Let me just I'll tell you the story real quick if you got a second.
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
But the point of the story is they ain't no ape, okay?
Right.
And this is only one thing that's happened to me that makes me say that. But when I was going out in the bed of the pickup truck thermaling by myself, I'd sit out there in the chair in the bed of the truck and I'd drink iced tea. Well, after an hour or two, and there's hogs on the ground, right? I've been pinned in my truck because of hogs all around me before out there. So I'm not getting down on the ground to pee.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm a girl, so I got a problem.
Right.
So after a couple hours, I got to pee. So I'm like, okay, I got my tailgate down. I'm just going to back up here, hold on to the bed of the truck, hold on to the little guy wire that goes down the tailgate, drop my britches and hang it off the tailgate, right? And I know that's a little graphic, but I'm trying to set this up. So I do this, and I'm in the pitch dark. I don't have any lights on, no red lights, no white lights, no nothing. And I'm hanging it off the truck. And about the time I get my britches down and get situated, I hear something from the woods behind me, 250 yards away, start laughing. And I think it's laughing like a human laugh, like, ho, 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 ho. Only it ain't no human. It's way deeper, and it's way louder, and there ain't no humans over there, and there ain't no houses, and there ain't no roads. Buddy, you talk about somebody getting their pants up and getting out of there. It scared me to death. But I've had all kinds of audio stuff happen in those woods. Oh, and the whole mimicking thing. That's kind of where I'm going, I guess, with this. And one reason I know there's more to it is the mimicking that I've heard.
Right.
Same thing happened. I've been whistled at. I've had I can't really whistle, but I've had like somebody whistling for a dog. Woo, woo, from the same exact spot where the laughter came from. Another night out there thermaling, I was getting ready to go. It was pitch dark. I said to myself, I'm just going to turn my red headlamp on and I'm going to grab this thermal and jump in the truck. Because it's scary out there when you get down off that truck bed. It's different, because you've been filming hogs all night. They're there. So it's like 10:30 at night. I got to work the next morning. I'm like, I got to get out of here. So I get ready, hit my red light on my headlamp to take my thermal camera apart and put it up. And the second that red light comes on, across the dry lake bed from the same exact place that the laughter came from, I get this dog whistle. Woo, woo.
Right.
Man, scared me to death.
I
Jumped
bet.
in the truck, got out of there again, man. I mean, it's just there's been so much happen. I've got 3 years worth of notes, but. And then I discovered Arkansas this year, and this past year, Arkansas is a gold mine. That place is so wild still.
There's a place
like
up there. There's a place up there. It's an opal mine or a diamond mine or something. I wish I could remember the name of it, but they say they have a 9-foot Sasquatch on the property. And the cool thing about this place is they have cameras out around, and they will.
Yeah.
They have video and they put it on their website of like rocks floating.
Wow.
Like the rocks coming up off the ground and just floating. And then they'll drop
that's some
back.
Crazy stuff.
It's the weirdest thing.
How high? How high off the ground does it
you're
drop?
talking 5-6 feet?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Undeniable. Undeniable. It's not, you're not seeing things. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, they have the video of
anyway,
it. You know, I don't know how it would be
that's
faked,
cool.
but it can't be that far from wherever
Yeah.
you are. So,
No. Well, let me tell you where all this has led me, and that is quantum physics. And I know that sounds terrifying, but there's actually some pretty simplified stuff on YouTube that you can go to and start wrapping your brain around it. And what's happening, I think, is that all the stuff that we think is, quote, paranormal, I'm not into the paranormal. The ghost stuff and all that scares me to death. I don't want nothing to do with it.
mm-hmm.
But all the so-called woo and the paranormal and all that, it ain't nothing but quantum mechanics, and it's already theoretically proven that what we're talking about can happen, like the whole portal thing, the whole, it's been going on. They've discovered this stuff since 1915.
Yeah.
Only the average Bigfooter won't go educate themselves about it.
Well, I think
we all keep doing the same thing over and over again.
Because that's what they want to do. It doesn't make no sense to me, but all this woo, I don't think it'll be woo in 50 years. I think it'd just be normal.
It'll be woo in 10 years.
Hey, and
yeah, I agree.
And so
I think there's laws of physics that back it up right now.
Yeah, and
I know there is.
It's just going to come with time, and then I think all these things, the ghosts and all that are on the fringe, like the missing time and all that stuff. I think all that's going to come to light, and we're going to see why that was. Now whether they'll tell us or not, because I think they already know. I think they just don't really put it out there.
Yeah, yeah.
But
I do too. I mean, the principles exist already.
Right.
Like you can go and learn some basic stuff and realize there's things like superposition and entanglement that explain exactly what we're already talking about. And I read Ryan Moorhead's book a couple of years ago after I saw those footprints. And I really couldn't wrap my brain around the quantum stuff in there, until, well, let me tell you what happened. So, what threw me down this quantum path to try to learn. I work with sound waves every day now anyway. I use ultrasound in my job every day. That's what I do. I'm in the cardiology department of a hospital, and I do ultrasound. So I had to study ultrasound physics and all that. And before that, I studied architecture, so I had to study mechanical physics and all that. But they didn't teach us anything about no quantum physics when I was in school. That was woo-woo back then. And it ain't woo-woo anymore. But I was up in Arkansas in March with, I think they call themselves the Arkansas Bigfoot Cartel. And I'd never met these guys before. But I saw an ad on Facebook for where they were doing this. They were going to have a little get-together, but the beauty of it was they were going to do the get-together like on Saturday, but on Friday night, they were going to take people out to their areas. And on Saturday night, they were going to take people out. And I said, man, I'm going to go check that out. So I called my buddy up there, Dave Rogers. He goes by Dave Rogers, a.k.a. Sasquatch. He's a magnet. He's a Sasquatch magnet. And I met Dave last September on an expedition up in southwestern Arkansas next to the Oklahoma border. And me and Dave are kind of cut from the same cloth. We just put our packs on and we just start walking.
Right.
And we keep walking. So, and he's like ex-military. He's real badass and all that. But, we kind of jihad in the woods. We would just keep going. And so I called Dave. I said, and he lives in Arkansas. I said, are you going to be up there at that thing? And he said, well, I don't know. I said, we'll look at it and see if you want to go. So we went up there. We met them. Just as good of people as you'd ever want to meet. They just reminded me of the Appalachian folks that I grew up with. And just good old country boys, and very sincere people. And they had done a lot of research in those mountains around where they're at. And so they took us into one of their areas one night. And this is what really started it. This is March 21st this year. Dave and I took off down this logging road, and we both use Onyx Hunt on our phones. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, the little mapping app.
Yeah. So I had my Onyx app going, and Dave had his going. We always do that when we go in the woods so we can, breadcrumb our way. It tracks your trail in so that if you ever get lost, you can follow your trail back out. It's a real safety feature, especially I'm out in the woods alone a lot. So anyway, we have our apps going. We take off down this logging road, and where we all met and got together was up on top of this mountain. So any direction from the top of this mountain is downhill, right? So we leave the car at 9:47, and we start down this old logging road. Everybody else is sitting up around an old cemetery. They all stay up on the top of the hill. So we're like, well, let's go down this road. So we start walking down the road, and it's pretty steep getting down in there. It's downhill, and it's not super steep, but it's not an easy. You're thinking when you're going in, I got to come back up out of here.
Right.
So don't go too far because it's uphill all the way out. So we're mapping ourselves. We're tracking ourselves. We get about halfway down through there. And I said, Dave, what do you think? And we're stopping and thermaling all the way down, and we get a wood knock about halfway down. I said, what do you think? Do you want to keep going, or do you think we should turn and go back up? So he's standing there looking at his map, and he says, well, down here at the bottom of this road, it says Bigfoot Holler.
Oh, wow.
And it literally said Bigfoot Holler at the bottom of that logging road. So he said, well, I guess we got to keep going, don't we? And I said, I guess we
Right.
And so here we go. So we go all the way down the bottom of this hill, Stacy. And at the bottom of this mountain, it turns out that it was remember this number, we'll just say 4 miles. It was 3.8 miles down there to Bigfoot Holler. We'll say 4 miles to make the math easy. So I hike and backpack every chance I get. So, and I'm alone a lot of times, so I know how fast I walk.
Right.
And if I'm going, and I'm 5'2", so I ain't long-legged, but if I'm going down a mountain, I can walk at 3 miles an hour. If I'm going over rocky ground and uphill, I'm walking at about 1 mile an hour. So anyway, just file that away for a minute. So we get down to Bigfoot Holler, and I hadn't eaten anything all day. I was all excited about being there. I was running around. And I said, Dave, when we get down here to Bigfoot Holler, I'm going to have to sit down and drink some water and eat some candy that I got in my backpack, because I ain't going to get back 4 miles up this hill if I don't. He's like, yeah, okay. So he said, hey, come here a minute. Let's take a selfie down here. Well, I'm not a selfie person, but Dave is a selfie person. So we're standing there, and he holds his camera out in the dark and takes a picture. Okay, that's cool. So then we go sit down and we eat some Snickers bars and Little Milky Ways and drink some water, because we know we got to walk 4 miles up the side of this mountain to get out of here. And I'm doing the math, and I'm thinking, shit, this is going to take us like 3.5, 4 hours. We stop and thermal and rest along the way. This is going to be a long night. Oh, well, we're juiced up on sugar. Let's go. So we start walking out, and we're both wearing red headlamps. And this is one of those logging roads where they'll grade it, and they'll make like water humps, and then it'll drop off again, and you'll hit another water hump. They've graded it so it diverts water off this logging road, keep it from washing the road out. So every time we were hiking out, we'd get up to one of those little humps, and we'd stop, and we'd thermal. And we'd get our breath back, have to get our breath. Then we'd walk some more and stop, thermal, catch our breath. Well, all of a sudden, both of our red headlamps catch a red flash up ahead of us, like bright red, and you're thinking bright red eyes when you see it, because here's the thing. We ran into my car. We weren't supposed to be back up that hill, Stacy. We were back up that hill in 1 hour.
Oh,
And I
wow.
wouldn't have known this. Yeah, we lost like 2.5 miles in 2.5 hours of time coming up this hill. I know how fast I walk. It should have taken 3.8 hours with no stopping to get up that hill. All right. So I didn't realize what had happened at first. But when our headlamps caught the reflectors of my headlights on my vehicle, it scared us both. We both jumped and stopped until we realized what it was. You know, because red reflectors on the car are pretty big. And I said, Dave, are we already back? And he's like, yeah, that's your car. And I'm like, yeah, okay. So we got in the car, and I turned, and we were sitting there, and I said, we weren't even tired. We weren't even whipped. We should have been dragging
Right.
4 miles up the side of this mountain. We weren't even tired. I said, Dave, that seems fast. Anyway, so I turned the car on, and the screen comes up, and it says 10:47. I said, what time were we down at Bigfoot Holler? So we look at our maps. We're not real sure. Scratch our heads. I said, hey, didn't you take a selfie down there? Get that selfie out. See if it's got a timestamp on it. And by God, it did, and it said 9:47 on it.
It took you an
And I
hour.
looked at him, and he was, yeah. And I said, what just happened? We didn't feel anything, Stacy. We didn't feel dizzy. We didn't feel zapped. We didn't feel tired. We felt great. We felt too good, you know?
Right.
Anyway, so we got in the car, and we start riding back to camp where everybody's camped out at the campground. And I'm like, man, what if we pull in here and there ain't nobody here?
Yeah, right.
You know, we're in trouble. And so, yeah. So if he hadn't taken that selfie at the bottom of that creek, I wouldn't have believed it. I
Wow.
would not have believed it. So that's what started me down the quantum hole.
Well,
Because I
listen, we're over time. I wish you would have called
okay.
earlier.
All right, buddy.
But
Okay, sorry.
No, you're good. Listen, if you can get any of these pictures and your audio and stuff together, I'd love to
Yeah,
give you a
yeah.
whole Wednesday evening to just talk.
Okay.
If
All
you
right,
want, if
let's
you
do
want to
it.
do it,
I'll,
like we seriously on Wednesday,
Yeah.
I go 3 hours.
Okay.
But yeah, if you want to
Yeah.
come back on,
It's some fun stuff.
yeah, it sounds like you got a ton of stories, and the people are enjoying it right now, and we're just leaving them
Okay, good.
with and here it is,
A little teaser. A
Yeah.
little teaser.
yeah, Danny D saying great call, you know.
Oh, thank you. I'm pretty shy, but I'll come on your show. I trust you. You know, I know you're a good egg.
Yeah,
Matt's done vouch for you.
I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing.
Yeah, I don't either. I don't know him well enough to say that. I'm kidding. But yeah, I'll hit you up. We'll do that. I'll pull some stuff out and pull some notes out and grab some images off. I need to get my ducks in a row anyway.
Well, please do, because I would.
I'll shoot you an email.
I'd love to continue this conversation.
Okay. Yeah, and it's a little different than the stuff, you know. I don't have a bunch of, I came face to face with him.
Right. Well,
he howled that. He bit my head off. I don't have any of that, but I got some other stuff. It's pretty cool.
well, hey, the missing
All right.
time is
Well,
something in itself, but
Man, I tell you what, I've seen a lot. I'm 60 years old. I've seen a lot of stuff.
right.
And that right there, buddy, that threw me. All right. Well, I'll hit you up, and thanks everybody, and thank you, Stacy, and thanks for hooking me up with Matt.
Yes, ma'am. I look forward to hearing from you.
Okay.
All righty.
Okay. Thank you, brother. All right. Bye, y'all.
Bye-bye.
Good night.
All right, we went a few minutes over. I hope you people are okay with that. If I didn't have stuff to do, I would have continued to go. But wow, what a great way to end the show. I feel this has been a really good show. I just want to throw out there real quick. August 22nd, y'all get your tickets. Come out for Bigfoot and Brews. I'm going to be speaking live about the skunk ape and all other kinds of things. So if you're in North Florida, South Georgia, Alabama, hell, if you just want to take the trek, come see us. We're going to be out there for about 4 hours. Me and Jason, the guest tonight, and Dustin Tudope as well. Tudope, he's a good guy, and he's gonna tell some stuff that'll blow your mind. Also, members only expedition, October 1st through 4th in the Red River Gorge in Kentucky. Shoot me an email, BigfootStacy13. It's a free expedition to cave dwellers. So if you want to come out, only thing you got to pay is your camping, $30 a night per person. Outside of that, we're going to do it up and have a good time. And this Friday, after episode 3 of Journey to Belief airs, 4 teams, 4 locations, 1 night. We're all going to be out there looking. I'm going to be in the studio. I won't be looking. So no mosquitoes here on my part. But we're going to have guys in the Withlacoochee State Forest, Green Swamp, Mystic Springs, where Jason caught this photo. He'll be out there, and Richie B and the guys will be in the Bridgewater Triangle. So that's all my plugs. Y'all please hit that like button, subscribe. It really helps channel out a lot. And thank you all so much for coming here and spending your evening with me. It has been great. I appreciate everybody that called and everybody that's commenting. Seriously, it means a lot to me. I can't believe the amount of people watch this show. Like it just blows my mind, and I'm so thankful. So until next time, everyone, y'all stay safe and stay squatchy. Bye for now.